minute to cooperate with me. So okay, I can't move too quickly apparently today. Okay, there it is. So right in here is more than likely where we have, and you can see harder to detect there. Josh pointed this out around Carthage. That looks like that warning has been extended further to the north and west. So again, this tornado warning here expires at 2:30 p.m. this afternoon,
and I think that one near Carthage, or at least the circulation is starting to ramp back up. So if you're in Carthage, you probably want to get to your place of safety here. As we could see maybe a quick spin up there in the Carthage area as well.
Okay, so again, we have very strong rotation here near Pleasant Hill. Be in your place of safety. That will approach very close to Pelican, probably midway between Grand Bayou and this part along Highway 84 here in DeSoto Parish is where that could eventually go, as well as eventually up towards Kingston, maybe a little bit to the east. And you can see that we're getting closer to Shreveport as well. So these two are the ones that we will have to watch here in the Shreveport area. And Josh mentioned the storm near Carthage. Here is the rotation right now, which is south and east of Carthage. That probably will track more towards the northwest, close to Carthage, and eventually up between Gill and Beckville. So this is the course that this one could take, and you can see that it's very difficult to see to pinpoint the location of the rotation with this one here further to the west there in Rusk County, Panola County, and western Shelby County.
And I do think I'm seeing another tornado debris signature. Weather Service mentioning it as well. This would be the storm approaching Mansfield. So we've been watching that debris signature for sure right there near Pleasant Hill. And there is another circulation near Pelican. You can see there is a bit of a debris signature with that on radar as well. That's going to be moving very close to Mansfield. In fact, I would probably put it to Mansfield within the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes or so. So I do believe we have two tornadoes in that warning. There you go, exactly. That would be some of the debris headed up towards the Mansfield area. So we know something's on the ground near Pleasant Hill and something on the ground moving towards the Mansfield area.
So that right around 2 o'clock is when it would get pretty close to Mansfield. And this one probably a little bit later than that, since it's further to the south, moves a little bit east of Mansfield and crosses U.S. Highway 84 here between Grand Bayou and Pleasant Hill. That's, again, the two confirmed tornadoes that we have on the ground right now, one of which will soon move into DeSoto Parish. The second, which is already in DeSoto Parish. And again, you have about 10 minutes, Mansfield, before that tornado does make it into your area.
And yeah, there's a new scan just come out. If you clear the arrows, you'll see definitely did ramp up with the latest scan. So yeah, we know there is a tornado there going to be moving up highway. I believe that's 175. So right between 171 and 175. It looks like Antioch Road is where that circulation is, and it's going to be moving right into Mansfield.
So just kind of put this in perspective here. Obviously, everyone around Mansfield knows these roads obviously better than Josh and I. So you hear Antioch Road, and again, it's moving right towards the Mansfield area. And as I mentioned earlier, it's about 10 minutes out at its current, maybe a little bit quicker than that actually. So shortly before or pretty close to 2 o'clock is when that tornado will move into the Mansfield, Louisiana area.
And I think the storm that's behind it's probably going to wind up in the same spot as well. So that one that we're watching in Pleasant Hill, it's going to take a very similar track to that one. So it may be a prolonged period of a tornado warning down here in those areas.
It does look like it's going to move a little bit to the east of there. So it's in the same area, but we will see that, as you mentioned, probably extended there. So we have two tornadoes, very clear tornado debris signature just now crossing into DeSoto Parish. It likely had that tornado come very close to Pleasant Hill, moving into DeSoto Parish. Will pass very close to Pelican, maybe a little bit to the east of there. And we have this developing tornado right now. It's on the ground there just a few miles southwest of Mansfield. Probably will arrive in Mansfield right around 2 o'clock if it holds together. Let's keep our fingers crossed it doesn't do that. And as far as the rest of the debris signatures, we had this one here that we saw south of Joaquin. That has since moved more towards the north and west, and we have what appears to be, that very well could not be true. So let me go back and take a look at the velocity scan of the radar here. If I can get the hand tracker to cooperate with me. And there we go. Now I don't see anything that coincides with that. So here's our current.
And, I see there's a third now, Todd. So if you go over to the warning that's near Keachai,
yes,
just to the south of that, there's a third tornado debris signature there now,
okay,
which is going to be near Smyrna. So close to Grand Cane, it's going to be passing to the west of Grand Cane. But if you're in Smyrna, again, that is in DeSoto Parish. I'm seeing a third tornado debris signature there that's going to be located. It's right on the flashing line there.
I see it. I was looking at the one further to the, but there we go. There's another area where we have, and let me pause this and you'll kind of see how this verifies with the rotation aspect of this. So we have our debris and you can see how close it is in the same ballpark. This data may be newer, which is why it's not over the exact same spot. And you can see how that is now since moved further to the north. So this likely is a tornado here southeast of Coulter. See if I can see some of the road. Where is that? Is Smyrna Road, I would imagine. And there's Dairy Road here. So between Smyrna Road and Dairy Road, where it ends, is where this tornado is currently located. So again, let's go back to the debris.
Yeah, that looks to be a strong one. That will be moving up towards Coulter, as you mentioned.
So we have a tornado on the ground here, which is again near Smyrna, there in DeSoto Parish. And we have another debris signature. Let's see if I can find the other two. We have another one south of Mansfield. So here's the location of another tornado, which is very close to Antioch Road here, southwest of Mansfield. Looks like it'll move into the Mansfield area right around 2. And then we have another distinct debris signature indicated here near Old Pleasant Hill and Pelican. This probably will pass a little bit to the east of Pelican and then move up towards Highway 1, or that's Louisiana. See if I can get that a little bit bigger. I can't read those those small numbers, but this state highway here, there east of Oxford, that this second tornado probably will move in this very close to parallel to that state highway there in Sabine Parish. So we have these two here in south of Mansfield, and another debris signature that's easily definable here south of Keachai, and that is going to move a little bit more to the west of north. So this one, see if I can get some more communities to pop on here, and I'll draw this out to kind of show you when it's going to move to the northwest. So this is the current location. It moves into Caddo Parish here around 2 o'clock, and then we'll see it across Highway 79 about 2:20-ish, okay, between DeBerry and Bethany. So this, anywhere in between DeBerry and Bethany here further to the northwest, it looks like about 2:20. You will see this tornado here make it into your area. And again, it will cross into the far southwestern sections of Caddo Parish here. As I mentioned earlier, probably will do that here relatively quickly as well. As these things are racing towards the northwest at around 50 miles per hour. Again, crosses into Caddo Parish here, southwestern Caddo Parish, at about 2 o'clock o'clock this afternoon.
And be keeping an eye on things in Natchitoches as well. There is a new tornado warning. Nothing confirmed with this storm. It's moving into Natchitoches Parish probably in the next 5 minutes or so, but it does include the city of Natchitoches. So if you're getting your alerts on the cell phone, danger there is still ways away from Natchitoches, but that storm doing the exact same thing all the others have done. So would not be surprised if that did put down a brief tornado here shortly as well. So heads up in Natchitoches, that storm moving towards you. That particular warning in effect until 2:45, but I would imagine that's going to reach Natchitoches maybe a little before that, but hopefully stay a bit to the east. But if you're anywhere in that I-49 corridor in Natchitoches Parish, just a heads up, we have another one likely brewing here in the next hour.
So Josh mentioned the time at the, assuming they're moving at the same speed we've been talking about, it looks like a little after 2:30, it'll move close to Natchitoches, maybe a little bit west of Natchitoches at around 2:35 or so. Does look like there's another bit of rotation that could be possibly developing further to the east that, if it does get going, could eventually move up towards Goldana, maybe a little bit east of there. So again, this one moving a little bit west of, almost due north, so that will pass near or a little bit west of Natchitoches at around 2:35. And again, you can see how we have tornado here. We have another tornado warning right here, which is again, this has been confirmed. You can see the flashing purple box as it is now, just very close to Pelican. Show you the debris signature with that one. Very close to Pelican right now. Looks like the signature with the cell that we were looking at southwest of Mansfield has gone down somewhat. Let's take a velocity scan. So it is just now southwest of Mansfield. And I'll go back to the debris signature.
Debris looks like it has come down a bit with that one,
agree.
but I don't trust it. So we'll see if anything ramps back up there. But definitely have another storm south of that you need to keep an eye on in Mansfield. But at least the tornado debris signature is somewhat gone down over the last few scans near Mansfield.
Yeah, but still, until that thing passes Mansfield, you're not out of the woods yet, even though we have a sign that maybe that possibly has picked up. But we do have this one near Pelican, which has a very clear debris signature.
Sometimes these will skip, just like skipping a rock on the water.
That's true.
Up and down, and that's probably the way it will be through the entire afternoon here.
And that third confirmed tornado warning, this one here is the debris signature that is now just southwest of Keachai near Coulter is where this particular tornado debris signature is currently located right now. So let's pause the radar and again line this up with the velocity scan and show you how that plays out here. So you can see how that matches up. We have our red away, green towards. You can see how that debris signature matches up with what we're seeing on the radar here. So we likely have something on the ground near Coulter, Louisiana. That will continue to move up towards Four Forks there in southwestern Caddo Parish, and then eventually move into Panola County here, as I mentioned, between Bethany as well as DeBerry, Texas. So again, we have a tornado warning right now near Coulter is where that tornado is currently located. It is going to continue to progress its way, crossing the far southwestern tip of Caddo Parish near it's hard. That one's a hard one to say. Four Forks, and so that is located right about in here. And in fact, let me kind of give you an ETA for those in that community. So again, it is very, for some reason my hand tracker is acting weird today. So here, bear with me.
It has a lot to digest today, so.
That's true. There's a lot of data going through it. I'm trying to go slow, but obviously it's not picking up. There it goes. All right, so I know the arrow's big, but it gets the point across. So the 206, so about 5 minutes at its current speed, we'll see that make its way into the Four Forks area. Again, I have to zoom in just to see the location of that particular community. And again, going back to the latest scan of the debris here with the radar, and you can see that it is, there we go. So it is now north of Coulter, Four Forks is next in play here, and then we will see it move again between Bethany and DeBary, probably closer to Bethany than DeBary there in Panola County. So that is one confirmed tornado that we have in place right now. And we have another confirmed tornado here, which is near Pelican. So you can see the location of that one, which
It'll
is
be moving into Grove Hill within the next minute. If you're in Grove Hill,
yep,
place of
there's
safety,
Grove
Grove Hill
Hill.
Road.
And we were looking at the debris signature at one point, which is was several miles southwest of Mansfield. Let's see what the velocity scan looks like on the radar with that. Okay. Bear with me. I'm trying to work with the hand tracker here, and does look like we still could have something in here. So they're not out of the woods yet in Mansfield. That still has not passed your area. So that is another area that we're going to be watching here.
And
So
there is another storm now developing just north of Coshada and Red River Parish, not currently warned, but another circulation developing there. That would be with the storm near Coshada. You can see a little bit of a circulation developing with that one as well.
And you can see right here, notice how this is wrapping up here. So this likely is debris, that bright spot that you're seeing on the radar right there. In fact, this is just basically the normal, what we show the rain with. And if I click on the debris, and you can see how that will match up with that bright purple spot on the radar. So we do definitely have, again, as we've been saying, a tornado on the ground. Can't get more obvious than it is right now, and that one, as Josh mentioned earlier, is near Grove Hill there in DeSoto Parish, the community there. Josh, you mentioned the DeSoto Parish. Let's, I should say Red River Parish.
Yeah, there's just another circulation developing. There's Coshada and Edgefield there, and you can see there's a bit of a circulation that's probably going to be moving up either in the direction of Ninock or maybe towards the Lake Bistineau area if it continues to make its way to the north. But either way, next hour or so, these will be closing in on I-20, including Shreveport-Bossier.
So let me go ahead and turn that on. There, it's on now. So just to kind of give you a sense, we'll say it's in its current pace, we're looking at about 12:35, 12:45, or I should say 2:35, 2:45 is when it'll be crossing into basically Interstate 20. So that kind of gives you a sense here. We're about a half hour, maybe a little bit more out before we'll start to see things get a little bit more active as far as the weather further to the north along the I-20 corridor, something we've been mentioning here throughout the last couple of hours that we've been on the air. So again, we do not have, as of yet, a tornado warning for this one, but this is a developing rotation north of Coshada near Edgefield that will move up, as Josh mentioned, towards Ninock. You folks in Princeton, Houghton will have to keep an eye on that, as this definitely could move into your area and maybe a little bit further to the west than that. The clearest, the strongest tornado that we have right now is this one here northeast of Pelican, and you can see behind that there is another rotating storm that is ongoing, which is southwest of Pleasant Hill, Louisiana. That very well could move up towards the Mansfield area as well. So kind of give you a general sense as to when that will happen. So it's, again, moving very close to due north, maybe a little bit west of north, about 225 in that ballpark is when it crosses U.S. Highway 84 there in DeSoto Parish. And you can see the additional tornado warning here. This one right here, just kind of give you a sense on when this will move very close to the Natchitoches, Louisiana area. Get my tool to turn on. It's on. So again, it moves maybe a little bit to the east of Bellwood at 215, close to maybe a little bit east of Provençal, 225, and maybe a little bit west of Natchitoches, 235. At its current pace is when it can move there. And again, you can see another rotation which is developing over the extreme southeastern tip of Natchitoches Parish. This will move into Wynn Parish, but eventually could move up into Bienville Parish. So these rotating storms are all lined up here along this band, and you can see that we have our first couple of blue boxes, which are have popped up on the radar. These indicate flash flood warnings, as again, this band has been moving towards the north. And I'll show you how much rain has fallen here in a second. But you can see it looks like we just had another warning has popped up, I believe, here for this particular rotation here, which is south of Longview. That particular tornado warning is in effect until 2:45 p.m. this afternoon. And let's zero back to the west. And again, possible tornado here crossing U.S. Highway 59 here in Panola County. Darko could be in line to see this. Nothing confirmed, hence the red box and not flashing purple box. But nonetheless, we do have rotation indicated north of Carthage and probably south of Gill, I believe. Yes, there's Gill right there. So it's going to be well south of Gill. Could move up towards the Darko, Texas area. And we have our confirmed tornado indicated here, which is continuing to move away from Keachai. Let's zero in on exactly its current location right now. Looks like it's in Caddo Parish and is moving very close to Four Forks and is very close to Hunsicker Road. Hunsicker Lane is where that is. Kind of give you an exact location on where this tornado is currently located across the area right now. So that is, again, just to kind of show you the debris with this, a very clear debris signature indicated right there. You can see how that matches up with the rotation that we're seeing on the radar here. And let's go back and see if we can see that other area of debris. It looks like this one south of Keachai, we're seeing a little bit of debris with that. So that means that we have maybe a tornado there, but I don't see much there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That may just be some false data there.
Yeah,
but yeah, we definitely still have one on the ground in DeSoto Parish also.
That would be this one right here. So let's go back and take a quick peek at that. So there's your debris signature with that one here, which is, again, just a few miles south of U.S. Highway 84. Here's New Rockdale. Here's Goss. That will move up into this general area. Right now, it's just south of Neighborton. And see if I can get some of these rows to pop on. Or they're not going to pop on. Okay, so, but you can see that kind of give you a general sense. We have Mansfield here. Does look like this will stay to the east of Mansfield. But again, if you live anywhere near New Rockdale, Neighborton, Goss, Carmel, you're in line to see this potential impact from this tornado. So be in your place of safety. Again, middle of the house, bathroom, a good place. If it doesn't have windows, you don't want to go to a room that has windows. Closet is a good place. The good places to go when you have tornado warnings like this that are currently in play. And since we have this up, let's see if we can see any. Don't see much there as far as a debris signature here in Natchitoches Parish.
And they did issue you were watching that circulation earlier that was near Derry, or at least on the far end of the parish there. They did issue a new tornado warning that does include some portions up towards Goldana as well. That will be moving probably up Highway 71, maybe crossing over 84 10 to 15 minutes from now, and then moving into the northern end of the parish. Yeah, it does look like if you're in Goldana, we have this, you probably got the alert on your phone of a tornado warning. Again, this one, as Josh mentioned, in effect until 2:45. Let's kind of give you a look at the timing of this. Again, it passes a little bit to the east of Montgomery at 2:12, crosses Highway 84 there in Wynn Parish, close to the line there in Wynn and Natchitoches Parish, about 2:30-ish. And Goldana looks about 2:45 or so, maybe a little bit before that is when it could arrive in the Goldana area. So that kind of gives you a sense at the amount of time that you have. But keep in mind, as these approach, we still could have some wind issues, so that's also another thing that we'll be looking at. Now, as we wait new data to come in, let's talk about how much rain that we've seen across the area here, and we'll show you the latest from the radar in Shreveport. Again, anywhere you see 2 inch,
yellow, that's 2 inches, and you can see these areas here. Notice that we have some reds, and that's where the radar is already showing that we've likely seen more than 5 inches in these locations here, kind of scattered, but all in these yellow areas, that's 2 to 3 inches. And again, those are becoming much more prominent on the radar here with the thunderstorms associated with Beryl that are continuing. That one band is continuing to lift towards the north. And as we've been mentioning, it looks like we're about less than a half hour before it starts impacting the I-20 corridor a bit more aggressively here as it continues to move to the north. So again, the heavy rain also could cause some issues further and further to the north as the rain from Beryl also continues to move to the north. So you can kind of see the lineup of thunderstorms here. The tornado warnings, the purple boxes, indicate tornado warnings that have been confirmed, that we see signatures on the radar, and you can see the red boxes are tornado warnings that so far have not been confirmed, and the blue boxes indicate flash flood warnings that are currently in place across parts of deep East Texas there as they move towards the north. So we have, looks like 6 tornado warnings right now in place across the Arkansas.
I understand tornado sirens going off in Kilgore and Longview. We're spending a lot of time on the 2 confirmed tornadoes, but just letting you know behind the scenes, I am kind of keeping an eye on those storms to see if anything ramps up. Nothing that has really caught my attention at this point, but we do have that one area of rotation now crossing Highway 59 between Carthage and Gill, and also another area of rotation that is moving, going to be probably splitting right between Kilgore and Longview. So again, those possibly could produce tornado. We know nothing is on the ground probably at the moment here, but I am keeping an eye on them.
And just an observation, Josh, that it seems that so far we've seen more of these rotations confirmed with the storms that are moving more north. We've had
Yes.
that one that was in Russ County that was confirmed, but so far the ones that were further to the east have been, I'm not saying that's not going to happen with these, obviously, but just an observation. You can see that we have a confirmed tornado here, which is, again, right now over the southwestern sections of KTAL Parish. And Josh mentioned the one right here south of Longview that probably will pass a little bit to the west of Longview. We have another one which is southwest of Gill. That's going to move up towards the Darko and eventually maybe the Hallsville area. That tornado warning expires at 2:30. So that's another one that we'll have to keep an eye on. But again, those have yet to be confirmed thus far. This one is still producing a likely tornado. You can see that clear rotation indicated on the radar. Let's put the debris signature on there, and you can see.
Still there.
Yep, still there. And it's just west of Four Forks Road. I'll be glad when it moves out of there, so I don't have to say that anymore.
You can tell how slow it's moving as well. We've had to mention that for the last 20 to 30 minutes.
That's
so,
true.
these really aren't moving that quickly.
And again, this will, Panola, that you could be in the path of this. Again, let me go ahead and zoom this out since we have several scans of this, and I'll put this in the motion during the past hour, and you can kind of get a sense. It looks like it's moving more. Perhaps Bethany could be.
Close to Bethany,
Bethany,
probably.
and maybe even Wascom. So Bethany, you should. It looks like we have seen a little bit of a jaunt with this last one.
And
a little
it's
bit
only,
to the.
about 5 miles from Bethany, so that would put it in probably around 2:20. So you have only about 5 minutes in Bethany to get prepared for that one.
And this is confirmed. That is debris that we're seeing there on the radar right now. Let's zoom this out. Let's go. First of all, go back to the radar and go back to the velocity scan so we can kind of match these up. So you can see this tornado here, which is in southwest KTAL Parish near Four Forks. It's going to move up towards the Bethany area as we speak. And we've been talking about this one right here, I believe, is the one that had the debris signature. That is just about ready to cross U.S. Highway 84. Let's take a look at how that is panning out.
It looks, there's still some debris with that one. Looks
but
like
it has gone down.
Fallen apart just a bit, but it may still be there. And we mentioned that rotation that was near Hall Summit in Coshada earlier. That has now prompted a tornado warning. Nothing confirmed, but that's moving up the Red River. And you can see that new warning issued, which does take it towards the south end of Shreveport. as well as Bossier. That would be the warning there. That is in effect until it looks like 3 p.m., but there is an area of circulation that we're kind of keeping an eye on here. Nothing confirmed with that, but that would be between Ninock and Hall Summit, basically moving up the Red River, so that one will be close to Shreveport Bossier if it doesn't fall apart. So I'll be keeping an eye on that one behind the scenes as well.
All right, thanks, Josh, for pointing that out. Let's, in fact, if we can come back to the radar, let me get this on there, and I'll kind of show again when we could see that. Right here is the area that Josh was pointing out with the new tornado warning that is currently in place. So let me go ahead and stop the radar here, and if I get the hand tracker to cooperate again. Okay, so there it is, and now we'll draw this out. And so again, it will, as Josh mentioned, track pretty close to the Red River, U.S. Highway 71. So we could see it coming to about 245 or so, come very close to Interstate 20. So eastern part of Bossier City, Houghton should keep an eye on it. Obviously, we have from Houghton proper over to 220. That is an area that this could impact as well. Looks like about 245 is when this rotation, so far not confirmed, when that could impact that part of Bossier Parish. And we have this one here that we've been tracking has crossed U.S. Highway 84. This could come into play here. Moving into I-20 closer to 3 o'clock, since it is further to the south, will impact parts I-20 about 245, between 245 and 3. So here in the next half hour or so, things are really going to start getting active as far as the Shreveport, Bossier City metropolitan area. And again, we do have that storm, a tornado right now, which is south of Bethany, that will arrive there, as Josh mentioned, in the next couple of minutes. Zoom this back out and show you that we have a very strong signature right now with this cell, which is technically not in our area, just about ready to move into Wynn Parish, but this will eventually move up towards Goldana. And at its current speed, it looks like it will get there. It looks like it will get there at about 240, 245 or so. And again, we have another tornado warning right here with this one, which is southwest of Natchitoches. That is going to move very close to Natchitoches, about 237. So that kind of gives you a sense as to when these will move into different parts of the Arklatex here moving forward. So again, just numerous tornado warnings that we have as the remnants of Beryl. Josh, if you want to get that forecast from NHC ready, and you can kind of go through where that's going to be tracking.
Yeah, we did get a new advisory with that, so I'm ready on that one whenever, whenever you need to.
Let me go ahead and show the overall picture here, and you can see what's happening as we have. This is basically what's being seen by the Shreveport radar. So let's show you the national radar composite, and this will kind of see all the rain. So we have Beryl, which is southwest of Lufkin, I would believe right now, is going to be moving up towards the northwest. And what we're seeing are these bands, which are on the east side. If it's basically the right side of its circulation, this is typically where we see these spin-ups which occur with tropical systems like this. Unfortunately, this is coming through during the most unstable part of the day as well. That's not helping things. So you can see this one band here. This has a history of producing, no time did we have fewer than 5 or 6 tornado warnings with this particular band, and you can see they are still lit up right now. So Josh, go ahead and show us where Beryl is right now, the center, and where it's going to be moving here as we go through the next 12 hours.
Yeah, and the wind speeds continue to downgrade here. Still tropical storm. The latest advisory has the winds down to 60 miles per hour. Those would be the maximum sustained winds in that eye wall that's down towards the Lufkin area. We've had a few gusts over the last 20 minutes here in the Arklatex that have been over 40 miles per hour. So occasionally we've been showing the power outages to you. I think the wind's strong enough with some of these storms. We'll definitely see some scattered power outages through the day today, but Beryl continues to move to the north-northeast at about 14 miles per hour. Probably a typical movement. This is actually a fairly slow mover, but it looks like it may be accelerating just a bit, which is good. If we can get this thing out of here as quickly as possible, well, I'll be happy to do that. But you can see it will likely keep its tropical storm strength through this evening as it passes close to Tyler. Again, it's probably going to cross I-20 between Tyler and Shreveport. We now show the path basically right over Cass County, including Atlanta Texarkana and Texarkana. If you're close to that eye wall or that center of circulation today, that's probably where you're going to see that corridor of heavy rain set up later today. And Todd and I have been kind of watching those tornado warnings. Those are associated with those bands feeding in off the Gulf of Mexico, and that will likely stay on the east side of that track. So eventually we could see some of those tornado warnings into Arkansas, but they will likely continue for several hours in the Shreveport area as well. I wanted to touch on the winds, just keeping an eye on the wind gusts here. This would be the current wind gusts over in Longview with those tornado warned storms there have had a wind gust out in Longview of 45 miles per hour. So again, when the winds are above 40, that's when we get into the tropical storm strength. Probably not going to see a lot of that today, but over the next hour or two, these storms will be capable of those gusts, maybe between 35 and 45 miles per hour, gusting up to about 20 in Marshall. But again, Marshall, you're in line to see the worst of the weather probably move in within the next hour. Same thing for Shreveport as well as Bossier City. And I'll take you through time since the model has been updating here. We're showing the wind gusts. Again, your sustained winds today, probably 20 to 25 miles per hour, but we're keeping an eye on the numbers just to hope that these stay below 40. And for the most part, they are, but you can see occasionally the wind in Marshall and then maybe even up towards Texarkana and Mount Pleasant could gust up to 40 miles per hour or so with these storms today as the Beryl continues to move to the north and northeast. And so we'll continue to watch these tornado warnings, but we'll kind of give you a run of Futurecast here as well to give you an idea of where these things may be headed as we go through the rest of the evening. So here is a look at Futurecast here. Again, this is the model that updates every hour, so typically has a pretty good handle. And we're showing those bands that do produce the tornadoes moving up into Arkansas, maybe some portions of Texas as well, maybe sometime after 5 or 6 p.m. today, if not sooner. But you see the heaviest rain may begin to push out of here after midnight. But I'm kind of feeling like there will be some additional bands that are ongoing tomorrow morning. So I do think we'll probably carry that flood threat through tomorrow morning. Just a reminder that there is a flood watch that is in effect until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Todd?
Thanks, Josh. And again, there you go. That's in a nutshell what we can expect here for the next, especially the next 12 hours or so, is when conditions will be at their worst, as we will likely see some improvement as the center of Beryl moves to the north. Again, the center very close to Lufkin right now, as Josh mentioned. Most of the rain, if you draw a line east-west, is to the north of that center. So as it moves northward and through the region, we should see the heavier rain bands begin to also lift to the north. That means we could see some improvement. One thing we'll have to watch are these feeder bands, which can develop and occur even after the center moves by. Those can also be responsible for some very heavy rain because this is all moving towards the north. So you can have a very persistent period of very heavy rain if one of these feeder bands sets up over your particular location. Okay, so let's...
New tornado warning there for that confirmed cell.
Okay, so, I was going to say, let's go back to our confirmed tornadoes here, and we'll zero in on, first of all, the debris signatures that we've been watching here. We have this one here, which looks like it's very close to Bethany. Let me just get a confirmation that matches up. So you can see the couplet here, southwest, east of Bethany. And again, it does look like we have some debris still indicated there, so that will be moving into Bethany here within the next couple of minutes, eventually moving up very close to Wascom. It does, let me zoom this out and put this in the motion so you can kind of see the general direction that this is going to be going. So here it is. So it's moving in this general line right there. So it will come very close to the Wascom area, kind of give you a sense on when that is going to happen. So right now it's...
By my count, that has been on the ground for about 45 minutes, Todd, which is...
rather unusual.
Unusual on a day like today.
Yes.
We kind of expected these would skip around, be on the ground for maybe 5 minutes or so, but these have been able to sustain themselves. So, something we'll have to keep a close eye on for the rest of the day.
So again, it looks like about 2:34, so about 10 minutes. That may be a bit quick. This probably is moving a little bit slower than the speed at which I have this arrow set up to calculate, but nonetheless, kind of gives you a general sense of when that could move into the Wascom, Texas area. So that's one area of debris that we've been watching. Let's see if we go back to the velocity scan of the radar here and show you what we are looking at there again, see if we can pinpoint some of these other rotations. Again, that's that one tornado. We have another one that we've been watching right here. That looks like that maybe has weakened a bit right now as it is moving into the far north part of eastern part of DeSoto Parish. This location right here, let me go ahead and stop the radar right now. And so you can see it's right here. See if we still have any debris associated with that. It doesn't look like it's quite as prominent as it once was. I'll put this in the motion so you can see what this did look like about an hour ago. So you can see that, yeah, you can notice the darker blues right there and how that has kind of, now it doesn't totally confirm that the tornado is lifted, but it is a good sign that that very well could have taken place, as that rotation definitely has become less organized. And where is the newer? Okay, we talked about this one, so we've already talked about this one, and we have another confirmation here further to the west, so we'll pause the radar again and talk about.
Yeah, they've got another one developing I-49 near Ninock. Another tornado, looks like debris signature. And that would be with the storm that is headed towards Shreveport and Bossier.
Okay, I'll go ahead, Josh, if you want to point that out.
Yeah, sure thing. And again, that's our latest warning here. Let me go ahead and circle that for you. You can see the tornado debris signature. You've been following our coverage for the last hour. You've become pretty familiar with these. But likely what's happening, again, this storm lofting some debris into the air, which is being detected by the radar. That storm, again, located over just basically right over the Red River. So I do think it's going to be maybe following that path very close to the Red River, if not to the eastern side of that, over into Bossier Parish. So again, folks here, very south end of Lake Bistineau, I believe this storm is probably going to be headed up in this direction. Yeah, exactly.
So that is, again, another confirmation of a tornado that we have on the ground, one of several that we've seen across the area. And here's another one that I was zeroing in. You can see it is south of Hallsville. This is, again, the flashing purple boxes indicate confirmed tornado warnings, where we have confirmation that something is on the ground. Right now, it looks like this one is on the ground here. Here's Marshall, here's Darko. This very well could move very close to the Hallsville area, so I'll really get a sense on the motion of that. It is moving, so this will pass very close to the Hallsville area. Let's give you a sense on the timing of that, assuming it's going at the same speed that we've been calculating, about 235, 240, somewhere in that sense. So in the next 15, 20 minutes, it will pass very close to Hallsville, Texas. Again, a tornado warning. And then after that, we'll continue to move up eventually into Upshur County, maybe grazing the far northeastern tip of Gray County. But it probably will stay to the east of Longview. So that's another confirmed tornado that we have in place right now across the area. So let's stop the radar again. At least attempt to. I'll do it that way. So zoom this out, and you can see the purple boxes. We kind of touched on where they are, basically the rotations that we've been seeing. So you can see this one has been purple for quite some time. Kind of pointed out that debris signature looks like it's gone away. Josh mentioned the one that's near Ninock now. Let's go back to the velocity scan of the radar here and show you basically the other tornado warnings that we currently have in place. We have the one near Ninock. We have another one which is again south of Natchitoches, and this is the most organized that this one has appeared since it has been moving. This warning was first issued when it was just crossing into Natchitoches Parish. You can see right now.
Yeah, far away from the radar site, so we may not necessarily see a debris signature with that. That may become more evident as it gets closer to the radar site in Shreveport, but I wouldn't doubt if there is something on the ground there as well.
And that, again, if you're watching in Natchez, Natchitoches, does look like that is moving more north, so that probably will stay a little bit to the west of Natchitoches right now. But to kind of zoom this out, if you're watching in Campty, also Martin, Hall Summit, could be locations here in Red River Parish that could be, if this holds together long enough, in line to see that move into your area. So that, again, that is the strongest and more distinct signature that we've seen with that particular cell. And we have the one we talked about earlier, which is technically not in our area, but it very well soon could be. We have another rotation here, which is several miles south of Goldana. That is going to be moving up close to Goldana, eventually Saline, Lucky, Bienville, and eventually we could see Gippsland, Arcadia here, probably between 80 and Arcadia near Gippsland is where, if you project that arrow out, if it continues to move in that direction, that's when where it would cross Interstate 20. So that kind of gives you a sense on where this rotating storm could be. And the red boxes indicate where we have rotations. Those are tornado warnings that have not yet been confirmed. The purple boxes indicate tornado warnings where we have had confirmation via someone seeing them or the radar indicating some debris. Let's go back since we
do have a feed up from Megan Henry, who is driving south. I believe she's on Mansfield Road. They'll have to let me know in my ear again, but if you want to pop up the shot, she's just getting hit by some heavy rain now, but she is driving down, I believe, towards those circulations that are moving into the Shreveport-Bossier area, so we'll have another thing to kind of keep an eye on here, but I am kind of watching her shot in the corner of my eye to see if anything does show up on her camera there, but again, the rain's so heavy right now, you can't even see these storms coming.
Definitely so, Josh. And I will, and so you mentioned the cameras. That's something I haven't, we've had so many tornado warnings that to talk about. We haven't really shown too much of the cameras. So let's do that. And you can see the, first of all, see if I have the Thunder Truck feed in my system. Yeah, there it is. So we have that in play too. So there is the a feed from the Thunder Truck. Let's just show you all the various cameras here. First of all, Shreveport. Again, so far it hasn't been too bad in Shreveport. That is about the change here as we are going to be looking at the stronger thunderstorms arrive here. Let's take a look at the camera at the Bear Creek Smokehouse. Again, that is northwest of Marshall. Actually, that is the wrong camera. I must have clicked on the wrong one. Yes, I did.
And I would say, yeah, by my count, maybe 2 tornadoes on the ground right now, and I think both of them are in East Texas at the moment here. We probably have the one that just passed through the Bethany area, and we know for sure the one approaching I-20 over towards Longview, likely producing a tornado as well. So we've got one right there and one that's likely right in there.
So 2 confirmed right now. The red boxes are, again, strong rotations that have prompted the tornado warnings. And again, you can see the cameras across the area right now, all of them at places where it hasn't gotten too bad yet. That definitely will be changing as we move forward. Josh was talking about this one here that did prompt a tornado warning as I noticed that the camera is, or the box is still red, but it does look like we have, as Josh pointed out, a debris signature more than likely.
And I think, yeah, it did kind of line up with where the rotation was. They haven't upgraded it to confirmed yet, but I do believe we may have had something on the ground there near Ninock.
And you can see how that matches. So very well we could be looking at some debris, and that is relatively close to the radar. Would be easier to detect. So again, we have this particular tornado, which is now near north of Ninock, as it is moving towards the northwest. Probably will continue to stay a little bit, move parallel to U.S. Highway 71, and move up. Eventually very close to, maybe a little bit to the, basically between Houghton and Louisiana Downs is where that could cross Highway 80 and obviously cross Interstate 20. So you can kind of, I'll zoom this out and play this during the past hour so you can kind of get a sense on where this is going to be going. So you can kind of get that sense that it is moving in this general direction.
Close to the racetrack over there.
Yeah.
Probably up in that direction between Houghton and Bossier.
Exactly.
The circulations in Natchitoches Parish, again, nothing confirmed there, but still looking very impressive on radar. So I'll keep a close eye on these. But that storm, possible debris signature, we've got one moving into Goldana. Think there may be a tornado with that one, Todd. And we have that next storm that's over in Natchitoches. Nothing has popped up as far as debris, but again, we're a long ways from the radar site, but just want to let everybody in Natchitoches know we're keeping a close eye on that one. Possible tornado with that, nothing confirmed, but obviously doing the same thing that all the other storms have been doing this afternoon.
So let's, since you mentioned that, Josh, I'm going to go down, basically start from the east and work my way west and kind of show exactly when these things could arrive at different locations. So you can kind of see, I had these moving, this one moving in this general direction here, and kind of give you an estimated ETA. So again, right now it's several miles to the southwest of Natchitoches. You can kind of see it probably passes close to Coshada shortly after 3, Hall Summit 3:16 or 3:15, and if it holds together long enough here, probably a little bit to the west of Ringgold about 3:30. So that's this first rotation. We have the second one, which is south of Goldana. That will arrive close to Goldana about 2:50. Saline 3 o'clock, Lucky 3:10, Bienville about 3:20. So those are, again, show the possible ETAs on the possible paths of these tornadoes that we have. So I'll clear this off and go this back further to the west here, and we have this possible tornado here, which is moving towards the northwest. Kind of give you a sense on when this could be moving into various locations. So again, we're looking at close to, maybe a little bit west of Houghton at about 2:50. If it were to hold together, again, we're starting to move into a more populated area here, maybe a little bit east of there, but again, probably passes a little bit west, or I should say east of Benton at about 3:05, and maybe makes it up to Plain Dealing at around 3:23. Again, assuming it continues the same speed and direction. You can kind of see that how that arrow matches up with the current speed that it's going. We have this one right here, which is now very close to Wascom right now. It is also moving, it looks like it's moving more northeast, so it could move across, it's already crossing, or will soon cross Interstate 20, could move up towards Karnak here, maybe a little bit west of there, about 3 o'clock, and again, maybe a little bit east of Jefferson a few minutes after that. So that is the second or the latest tornado warning that we currently have in place. We have another one down here to the south. This one's not quite as easily to see, so I'm going to clear these off and move back to the west. And we have, again, trying to follow this one right here, which is near Hallsville. That probably will pass south and east of southwest of Ore City in the next several minutes as well. It's probably located very close to Hallsville. Let me grab my,
yeah,
it looks like it's...
Well, that one still has a strong tornado debris signature, so likely still a tornado on the ground confirmed with that one.
Okay, let me grab my tool here. So Josh mentioning the tornado debris signature. Make sure I line this up. It does look like it's moving in this general direction. So this will pass a little bit to the west of Ore City at about almost 3:10, and grazes moves right about in here, about 2:55. It does look like this one will stay to the east of Longview, and don't see anything that I can easily point out that maybe in here, that here in soon to move into Upshur County. But that one is less difficult, or it's harder to see on the radar right now. So again, the purple boxes do indicate where we do have the confirmed tornadoes. So let me take a peek at that, and you can see the debris signature, which is indicated here with this.
And I think, unfortunately, some of the emergency managers there in Texas indicating that there is probably some damage in Bethany, maybe some trees that have fallen onto homes. So we know there is definitely some damage. No surprise. We know there was a tornado with that one. Unfortunately, starting to get some damage reports in, but confirmed damage with that storm over in Bethany. Also, an extension to the warning with the storm in Natchitoches Parish. That warning has been extended now into Red River Parish, so that does include areas like Coshada as well as Martin. That warning is in effect here until looks like 3 p.m. That would be for the storm currently located in Natchitoches. Again, we haven't seen anything confirmed as far as the tornado with that, but radar suggesting still some rotation there, so it is possible that that tornado-warned storm will hold together and eventually move into Red River Parish here shortly also.
Thanks, Josh. And let's go back and take a look at the Thunder Truck as next time you take over, Josh, I'm going to go activate the GPS and that so we can see exactly where the thunder truck is. See if I can pinpoint it where it is based on what we're seeing. But you can see the rain that is falling. I would imagine that could be Mansfield Road, I would suspect. I'm not sure. I can't see any signs that I easily recognize, but that is the view from the Ray Ford Thunder Truck. Megan Henry monitoring and operating that for us today. So we'll keep tabs on the Thunder Truck and what it's seeing as we continue to go through the rest of the afternoon here. So again, as far as the debris signatures that we have been talking about, again, these are where the radar is indicating we have confirmation of a tornado on the ground. So let's see the latest here. You can see the storm that we were watching earlier that moved through the Bethany area. That right there, it looks like it is not quite as well visually obvious that it was as it was moving towards Bethany, but that storm is now very close to the Wascom, Texas area. Let's go over, we've been looking at this cell here, which is again in Bossier Parish. It looks like we very well could have a little bit of debris with that one as well. That is now located with this storm. Probably do have something on the ground a little bit to the northeast of Halls, I should say Elm Grove. That's going to be moving up close to, maybe a little bit to the east of the Houghton area. Let's kind of zero in on these roads here, so you can kind of see this area here near Eastwood, close to Houghton, Eastwood, Red Chute. These could be the communities that are impacted by that, that tornado.
I agree with you, Todd.
I think
Something's
there's
on the ground there, and I think that one's about to get upgraded. So
okay.
I think we will see an upgrade to a confirmed tornado with that one also. So still seeing maybe some debris located with that, and that is, again, pushing north. That is the storm that's going to be moving up into Bossier City as well as Houghton. If it does hold together, it's really not that far from Interstate 20 at this point. We'll go ahead and draw it out. Looks like it's about 12 miles from I-20, so it would be crossing I-20 probably between Houghton and the racetrack there sometime maybe just before 3 p.m.
Yeah, probably closer to Eastwood is what it looks like, just based on the current. Obviously, those tracks could change somewhat, but that's where it. Again, we're talking about this one moving up into this general vicinity. But again, this is where Louisiana Downs is, so you can kind of see. Kind of gives you a sense on where it's going to be going. And so far, we do not have anything as far as the rest of the metropolitan area that is prompted anything that we would have to worry about thus far. This is the one that will impact Bossier. Again, we have our confirmed tornado warning for this cell, which, again, that signature looks like it's not as prominent as far as the debris signature as it was when it was approaching Bethany and moving through Four Forks. But it is going to move eventually up towards the Karnak area, but that does not look quite as obvious as it once was. And notice, again, we're in Shreveport, we're worried about what happens down here, between Mansfield and Grand Bayou, because all that's going to move up our way. And you can see as of right now, I don't see much that will impact us here so far, but you can see a very strong rotation here near Natchitoches. Let's take a look at see if we can see any debris matching up with that. Nothing is quite obvious as we are seeing now with the storm near in Bossier Parish and the one that earlier near Bethany, but that is probably an area that, again, it is farther away from the radar, so that's one reason why we're probably not seeing something obvious, but a very strong rotation here west of Natchitoches. That's going to be moving up towards the north. I'll put this into motion. You can see the direction that it is going, moving almost due north, maybe a little bit west of north. So that is going to be progressing its way on up basically towards the Martin area at about 3:08, Hall Summit 3:15. That's when this possible tornado will arrive in your part of the area. And we have another very strong rotation here, which is approaching Goldana here in extreme northeastern Natchitoches Parish. So that is eventually going to move up towards Saline, Lucky, and Bienville. As far as ETAs with that, you can see that it right now, just very close to Goldana. Grab the wrong tool here, just a second. There we go. Now I think I got the right one. Okay, now I got it. So we have Goldana, about 250, Saline in that neighborhood, 303, Lucky at about 310, maybe a little bit after that, and then further to the north at about 318. So that kind of gives you a sense on where this possible tornado, when it'll arrive at various locations. So we've covered the storms in Louisiana. Let me clear this off here and show you what we have as far as the storms back to the west there in Texas. So again, it does appear here the one storm that again did likely cause some damage in Bethany looks like it's now crossing Interstate 20 and is north and west of Wascom. This is the area of concern right here, northwest of Wascom. That will continue to move up towards Karnak, maybe passing a little bit to the west of there as it moves towards the northwest. And notice that box is purple because we did see a very prominent tornado debris signature with that earlier.
And thankfully it's fallen apart a bit.
Yeah,
at
I
least
agree.
The debris signature, so
Yeah.
hopefully it has lifted, but no guarantees. Just kind of watch that area of rotation there and still stay in your place of safety in the Karnak area, and we'll let you know if that warning gets extended.
And that applies to this storm here, which just passed through Hallsville. You can see it's flashing purple for a tornado debris signature. So let me call that up with the radar once again, see how that is appearing. And you can see that blue, that bright blue that pops up right there. And then you can see how that's gone more back to yellow. So that could be a sign that this too is starting to weaken somewhat as far as the strength of that rotation for this storm here in Harrison County. And again, the storm further to the west, that warning has expired, and that's pretty much it as far as the tornado warnings that we have. Let's go back to the traditional radar here. So
And, we do have a new tornado warning. This is the confirmed. Tornado that we've been watching that's moving through portions of Bossier Parish.
Yeah,
So
it's not
again,
surprising.
they've now drawn that all the way north to Benton and over maybe even close to the Webster Parish line. But we know that storm, that's the one that's going to be moving probably close to the racetrack there as it crosses I-20 and then into Bossier Parish.
So that is, again, as Josh mentioned, that is confirmed, obviously, since it is purple. We've shown you the debris signature associated with that, and we'll keep keeping a close eye on that as it continues to move closer to both Interstate 20 and U.S. Highway 80. That area between Houghton proper and the racetrack is a bit more populated than the area that this tornado is currently located at now. So we'll be watching that very closely. So that is, again, one storm. As Josh mentioned, we have this particular tornado warning. I'm going to go ahead and put this straight up and down here so you can see where it is currently located. And you can see how the reflectivity, how we get that hook echo that is going along with, and this dot here is probably the debris. Let me go ahead and pause that, and you can see how that will match with the debris signature. Notice how that blue right there matches up with that dot that I pointed out in the reflectivity. So again, this is where our tornado is currently located. Here's Houghton, here is the racetrack. Probably will pass midway between there. Again, I mentioned Eastwood earlier. It does look like it's going to pass between Red Chute, Eastwood, Marywoods. That tornado is going to be, you have just a couple of minutes to get in your place of safety there along U.S. Highway 80. And of course, further to the south, we have Eastgate Road, Smith Drive, and you can see that right now it's just to the south of Base Road and Sligo Road. Right now, this tornado is just a little bit to the east of Old Oaks. The golf course there and the community there in Old Oaks along Sligo Road. It does look like it's going to pass a little bit to the east, or I should say west of Oakland, and then progress its way up towards Base Road, Eastgate Road, and then we'll see it move. Again, here's Houghton, and again, the racetrack back over here. It does look like, back over here actually, it'll move up towards Mary Woods, Eastwood, if you want to be specific. But if even Country Place over towards the racetrack, you should be in your place of safety. As I will zoom this out here, and you'll be able to see the emotion that this has taken here in the last hour. So the last couple of scans, it does look like it is moving in this general direction. So maybe, as Josh mentioned, a little bit closer to the racetrack. So anywhere between Eastwood and the racetrack might be the path at which this takes. So if it does do that, we'll zero in, and again, we'll follow this arrow upstream. So again, you got Country Place, the racetrack right here. Here's Eastwood. So between Eastwood and the track, you can see it moving up Country Place, Holly Ridge. You got Crouch Road up here, and then you're getting up pretty close to Cypress Lake. Cypress Lake is right here, so that could also come into play with that storm as well. So just kind of give you a sense on which part of central Bossier Parish that this could be impacting as it moves out of South Bossier, crosses Interstate 20, and then moves further to the north. So again, this is probably of the storms that we're watching, probably the one that's going to move through some of the most populated areas here in the next half hour or so as it moves towards the north and northwest. Go back to the traditional radar scan here, and you can see the kind of zero in on the, not all of these boxes, as you see here, are purple. That means that they have yet to be confirmed, so we have to look at the velocity scanner of the radar to kind of get a sense on what we're looking at here. So let's, there we go. All right, so we have our one storm that we were talking about that's going to move up towards pretty close to the track, maybe a little east of the track, Country Place, that area. We have another confirmed tornado. It looks like that has weakened just a touch and perhaps is no longer on the ground. And we have these storms, another very strong rotation indicated. You can see that one, which is just now crossing Interstate 49 to the north and west of Natchitoches. That's going to eventually move very close to Coshada. If you draw that line as to the motion that it's currently going, very close to Coshada, and then it eventually moves up into northern Red River Parish near Hall Summit. So again, northwest of Natchitoches, a little bit to the east of Coshada, and near Hall Summit is where that particular tornado, which again is so far no confirmation of that yet, but we have a very prominent signature indicated on the velocity scan. And we've been talking about this possible tornado impacting Goldana. It's moving through Goldana right now. Saline, Lucky, Bienville, Bryceland, perhaps somewhere between Gippsland and Arcadia, if it holds together long enough, could be locations that are within the path of this possible tornado. Go
ahead, I do believe
Josh.
our tornado debris signature is ramping back up with the storm in Texas. That would be the one approaching Karnak. So I'll be keeping an eye on that, but you can definitely see tornado debris signature. This is the same storm that produced some of the damage over in the Bethany area. It looked like the tornado may have lifted for a short time, but it's probably returning there and is going to be moving into basically the western sections of Caddo Lake here. If you're uncertain, in uncertain Texas, right there on Caddo Lake, this probably stays to the west of you, but folks in Carthage, keeping a close eye on this one. This one actually may move into Marion County, close to Lodi and Jefferson if it does hold together also. So again, we'll probably see that warning extended into Marion County here shortly.
That's a trend I didn't want to see, Josh. That looked like it was going down some.
I was hoping so, yes.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it looks like that, as you pointed out, likely will not be the case. So we have, again, these tornado warnings here on the eastern edge of the area. Let's go back to our storm here, which is now approaching Interstate 20. And again, show you what we're seeing here and pause the radar to what we have right now across the area. So this is the current location. See what we're seeing as far as the debris, how that matches up. So again, it looks like we have the debris here, which is in Bossier Parish. That is looks like it's Eastgate Road, and over Base Road. near Oakland is where that rotation, it looks like it is going to track again towards the northwest. Eastwood probably will stay to the west of Houghton as well as Princeton, but Eastwood, between there and the racetrack, including Marywood's and Country Place, I'll let some of those other communities pop on here. So those are the areas that we could be looking at. Country Place, Red Chute, Wafer Road. Basically, it's moving, as you can see the arrow pointing at Adner Road, Holly Ridge. There's Bellevue Road coming down. And then further to the north, you can see there's Crouch Road right here as it goes back up to west of or east of Benton. Here is the base of Cypress Lake. So those are all areas that could be in the path of this tornado right now as it moves into, again, through southern Bossier Parish and eventually into the middle sections of Bossier Parish. And it does look like it'll stay to the east of Benton, but it is going to pass very close to Cypress Lake. So if you know someone who lives near Cypress Lake, tell them to keep an eye on that. And here's the latest debris signature that we likely have with this storm that's right now near Karnak. And you can see how that matches up with basically the velocity. And so we definitely have something on the ground here once again with this storm that did likely cause some damage in Bethany, passed very close to Wascom, and is now again south of Karnak. And you probably hear the tones. We probably have a tornado warning that's issued for our location right here. So you can see it's near Loda and Lee, and it is going to move very close to Karnak. So this is that looks like it's Annie Road, if I'm reading that correctly. Amy Road, maybe, and then there's Nana Lane. So that is some of the roadways close to the location of this particular tornado. So since I hear the sirens going off here in the studio with everyone's cell phone, we do have another rotation which is forming to the south of Shreveport. This one right now is very close to Interstate 49. I don't see anything as far as debris with that one, but this one storm, we do have a decent outbound with it. So this one looking not as organized, I think, Josh, as the others that we're watching.
Yeah,
Would
that's
you agree?
actually, if our director wants to take, that's Megan's shot. She's on I-49, so she's going to be traveling very close to where that circulation's moving up I-49 to Shreveport. So I'll just kind of keep my eye on the camera. It's going to be difficult to see anything today. A lot of these storms are rain wrapped, so a lot of days you can see the tornadoes coming. Today is not one of those days that you'll be able to really see these too well, either on camera or from your front yard. So we just urge everybody, stay away from windows, doors, stay off your patio, and just kind of get to your place of safety as these storms come in. They will, again, come in without warning, and no visual cues as the tornado is there, since the rain is pretty heavy in surrounding these storms.
Definitely so, Josh. So again, that is the circulation right there that you see on the radar to the south of Shreveport that has prompted the new tornado warning. That will move right into the heart of Shreveport and Bossier City as it progresses its way towards the northwest. So again, if we're looking at this storm right here, let's go back to the traditional radar. Again, we're looking at this storm right here. So let's do a kind of a track on when this could arrive at various locations. Again, this would be the inner loop, crosses the inner loop here at about 3:10. Looks like it crosses Interstate 20 about 3:15, 2:20, which would include the location here at the station at 3:20. So that shows you how quickly these are moving. And then obviously further to the north, it moves out of the city past Blanchard at about 3:30. So in the next half hour, we'll see it move across pretty much all of the Shreveport, Bossier City metropolitan area, as this particular tornado warning is currently in place for Shreveport, and especially Shreveport, until 3:30 p.m. This afternoon. So that is one cell that we are tracking right now.
I believe we still have that tornado on the ground near Houghton, the tornado debris signature, more evident with that on the latest scan. So I believe that is still on the ground and producing damage.
Yeah. So this is the again. Here's Houghton. We've been kind of pointing. There's Eastgate Road, And again, this is the area here, Eastwood, Red Chute Country Place, and you can kind of see how that matches up with the rotation aspect of things. Again, right in here, very close to Interstate 20. It's about ready to cross Interstate 20. Again, this would be the Houghton exit right in here, I believe. And then we would see there's the Houghton exit right here. And then here's the exit to 220. So midway between those two is where we will see this move through. Eastwood, again, some of the communities here where it is going to move through Eastwood, Winfield Road. We have Country Place, those neighborhoods, the Red Chute neighborhood, eventually Holly Ridge, maybe a little bit to the east of there is where this confirmed tornado is going to be going. So that is probably a bigger concern right now, since we know that this one is currently on the ground. And let's give a quick look, an update on the storm down here, which is just now moving into Red River Parish. This probably will pass a little bit to the east of Coshada, moving up towards Hall Summit. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the storm near Galdana, which will move into Bienville Parish. We have that other confirmed tornado, which...
that one has been extended. You can see the,
yes.
It goes up. That warning has been extended north into Marion County and some portions of Cass County, but mainly Marion County. It does include Jefferson, Lodi, and don't think that will affect Woodlawn. That will probably stay just to the east of Woodlawn. But again, this is the storm that we're watching here, that is the history of producing the tornado over the last hour, probably moving up in this direction. So it should be passing very close to Jefferson, maybe after 3:15. So you have about 15 minutes to get to your safe place there. And maybe if it does jog a little bit to the east, could affect Lodi, maybe just after 3:20. But I think it's going to move up very close to those locations, especially in Jefferson.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, it looks like a little bit east of Jefferson, but closer there by that time. And then obviously it does look like it's going to pass a little bit to the west of Karnak, but very close to Karnak. Anywhere between Woodlawn and Karnak, you should be in your place of safety. As Josh mentioned, everyone in Jefferson should also be in their place of safety. You can kind of see, if you draw the line on where this is going, it does look like it's moving along that pink line. So that shows you that it may pass. Now, obviously, these aren't always accurate, but nonetheless, kind of gives you a sense that as of right now, it may pass close to, but a little bit to the east of Jefferson. So that is another confirmed tornado that we have on the ground right now across the Arklatex. Further to the west, we have, again, this one, still a tornado warning here for this particular cell, which is moving into Upshur County. That probably will stay to the west of Gilmer. Eventually could impact Pittsburgh if it holds together long enough. So if you're watching in Pittsburgh, we'll be keeping an eye on that one for you. And again, going back to the Shreveport storms, we have this rotation here, which is right now very close to Burt Coons, as it is located right about in here. Go ahead, Josh.
I want to say Megan is on I-20 now, so her view would probably be looking at that storm. It's right on I-20. I believe she's just kind of crossed where some of the casino exits are. Right there on I-20. So that storm that you see in front of her, that would be the storm, I think, producing the tornado that is moving right. It's right on I-20 right now, just beyond the racetrack. So she is headed in that direction. So we'll know if there's any damage there probably shortly.
Thanks, Josh. I'm in the process of turning on her GPS here, so that's why you can't see me right now. So. Let me see if I can get that to come on.
But yeah. While you're doing that, I'll just kind of give it a rundown. We have again a number of tornado warnings that are in effect here. I'm counting 1, 2, 3. There's about 7 that are in effect currently. We know there are tornadoes currently ongoing with at least 2 of those. One is with the storm that is located close to Karnak. That area of rotation that is producing the likely tornado there is going to be moving again up towards Jefferson. And we know the spot that we're watching, that is likely a tornado that is crossing I-20 at the moment, just a little bit further down I-20 from the racetrack, so that is likely producing some damage here in Houghton. We know that storm is going to be moving through Eastwood, the Marywoods area, and will continue its trek to the north. We think that one's been on the ground for quite some time as well, so I think that one may have some staying power as it moves to these locations. I think Todd had mentioned the Cypress area, probably in line to see this, probably stays just to the east of the Benton area, but that one has been holding together. And as far as the tornado warning in the Shreveport area, again, not seeing anything as far as debris pop up with that, but obviously keeping an eye on that one. Still seeing a bit of a rotation move into the south end of Shreveport, Bossier, and that's again going to be moving probably close to the downtown area within the next 15 to 20 minutes or so.
Thanks, Josh. I had another question from a viewer who's watching online. Wants to know how many tornadoes are on the ground. It's kind of hard. I think we got a couple as of right now. His name is Joe Cummins.
And I think pretty consistently
yes.
for the last 3 hours, we've had 2 to 3 on the ground.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Exactly.
And I think we have 2 at the moment.
And possibly more.
Yes.
We have this one, which is located here, again, very close to U.S. Highway 80, I-20. We have the one that's currently south of Karnak that could move into the Jefferson area. But this is the current location of Megan. Again, Josh mentioned I-20. We'll keep a tabs on her location as she makes her way further to the, probably moving east right now. So. Again, Josh mentioned that particular storm. So we have anywhere you see purple boxes, this will answer that question. That is basically the boxes where we have tornadoes on the ground. So as of right now, we have 2 tornadoes on the ground, and you can see the numerous red boxes are locations where we have tornado warnings that are in place, where so far we've not been able to confirm that something has touched down. So we'll go basically from west to east and show you these warnings that we currently have in place across the region. We have this storm that I pointed out earlier, which is currently moving into Upshur County. That is not as prominent as it once was, but it will perhaps eventually move to Pittsburgh. We do have this confirmed tornado warning that is passing a little bit west of Karnak, east of Woodlawn. We'll come close to maybe passing a mile or 2 to the east of Jefferson as it's moving towards the northwest. So you folks in Jefferson should be in your place of safety. We have the cell, which is again right in here, moving into the southern sections of Shreveport. So far, there's no confirmation that that has anything on the ground, but it is going to be moving across the metro area here in the next half hour or so, and we'll move across, especially areas in Shreveport. Probably will stay on the KTAL side of the Red River, and then we have a confirmed tornado on the ground right now here, which is east of Princeton, that is moving towards the north and trying to get these smaller communities to pop on. So you can see right now, it did cross U.S. Highway 80 between Red Chute and Eastwood, and is now continuing to progress up towards, this is Bellevue Road right here, so that is going to continue to move towards the northeast and eventually move up into, very well could move on to the east side of Cypress Lake up towards Crouch Road is where this tornado could go as it moves into central Bossier Parish. And again, that means that it probably will pass to the east of Benton as it moves again towards the northwest. We have another pretty good signature that was much more prominent earlier. Looks like this rotation may be disorganizing somewhat, so that could be a good sign. This one passing right now between Coshada and Martin. And again, another fairly good signature that just moved through Goldana, is rapidly moving towards the north and is crossing into Bienville Parish. This is moving into Saline, and eventually crossing up through Lucky and Bienville, and eventually Bryceland, Gibson, Arcadia. You'll have to keep an eye on this if it does manage to hold together. So far, no confirmation of anything from that, as it is a bit a ways from the radar. So again, it is a little bit harder for debris to make it as high as the radar beam is striking these thunderstorms. Just because we don't see anything as far as debris, that is a pretty good signature on the velocity scan that you could see there north of Goldana. And that's pretty much a summary of the tornadoes warnings that we have across the area right now. It is part of a very active band of storms that has been rotating along the east side of Beryl circulation. So we have Beryl center of which is very close to Lufkin right now. And these bands, and you can see another band coming up, and notice that on the right side of Beryl's motion, that's where we tend to find these spin-ups occur. So we have another tornado which has popped up with a second band that is also going to move to the north. This one is now just to the south of Center, Texas. Let me pause this and show you what we have in place right now as far as the current. Right here near Patroon. This is a location that we talked about earlier. This is going to move up towards Shelbyville and perhaps close to Center as this progresses its way towards the northwest. Again, around 45 miles per hour. You can see that 327, maybe a little bit faster earlier or later than that. Shelbyville about 322. We're looking at 325 near Center, Texas. So that's when one of the newest tornado warnings that we have could impact the central part of Shelby County, and you can see that that we continue to watch another thunderstorm, which is rotating for this storm outside of our area, but this could also come northward. So we're going to be here a while as this Beryl continues to move towards the north, and basically these bands continue to rotate around the circulation of Beryl. You can see the location of the thunder truck here right now, and of the thunder truck. And if you would bring it back to the radar, I can call the camera up here if you would. Thank you. And so we'll see where the thunder truck is currently located, and then I'll bring up the camera, and you can see the on Interstate 20. It looks like we are seeing it go. That is obviously an exit that they are getting on to 20. So that is the current view of the Ray Ford Thunder Truck. This probably on the east side of Bossier City right now, I would imagine, is where the current location of the Thunder Truck is right now. And I'll get out of the way so you can kind of see the aspect of things. And this could be trying to see that little dark spot. Are you seeing that, Josh?
Yeah, and I was just checking some of the DOTD cameras as well over on I-220 at 20, kind of close to the racetrack there. Traffic still looked like it was moving in both directions. If there had been damage there, I would expect maybe there wouldn't be any traffic going by, but it looked like the traffic was still moving on I-20. Not to say there isn't still some damage there, but it looked like the traffic was still kind of flowing through there. But yeah, that's definitely our tornado-warned storm, I believe, that we're looking at in the distance there. That's kind of looking east from the 220 and 20 there. So
I agree.
That would be it in the
just going to say that. So it probably is to the north of Highway 80 now. So I would say the left side of that screen is where where we likely would be looking at something, but it's obviously it is a bit far away, but that very well could be a view of that storm, which has resulted in a tornado warning. So you can kind of see what we're looking at is the current location that you see in the box there. That is basically the velocity scan of the radar, and you can see that it is north definitely of 220 right now and is continuing to move away from 20 and US Highway 80. It is going to pass very close to, maybe a little bit to the east of Cypress Lake. That is quite a few folks live in that particular part of Bossier Parish, and there are quite a few that live between where the storm is now and where it's going to be going. So that is, again, a look at the view from the Ray Ford Thunder Truck there on I-220, looking back towards I would believe towards the west or northwest is the view that we're getting from the truck right there. Obviously, they're moving now. So very clear signature on the radar that Josh was showing.
Once she gets the camera pointed towards it, we may be able to see that tornado there because it is dry on the south side of the storm. So I think we may get a pretty clear view into it.
Okay. Now, I kind of doubt that this GPS data that we're getting is updating properly. So I do think that they're probably somewhere in this general area looking back towards the north and west. So this is the storm. So let me go ahead and bring back the Thunder Truck here. And again, based on where they are right now, I don't think that is, I'm trying to get a sense on where they're going now. So they may be trying to go I bet you they're trying to get on 80 and head back to where it passed through.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're turning towards Houghton right there.
Yes. So we'll keep tabs on the Thunder Truck and see if there's any signs of damage as they move through that basically stretch of Highway 80 that goes from the Louisiana Downs. Obviously, several neighborhoods there along U.S. Highway 80. You got Eastwood there. Again, several communities between there and Houghton. So we'll keep track on the Thunder Truck, and as it is going to be traveling, again, this is the general location where this is crossed. I should say I-20 and U.S. Highway 80, and now it is continuing to move towards the northwest. So here is this is Crouch Road, and this is for folks who live in this area. I believe this is the path that. You got that new road going in right here. It'll come out right there. So this is where that'll meet Crouch Road. Here is the edge of Cypress Lake. All right, so that kind of gives you, for those living along Cypress Lake, that kind of shows you the location of this tornado right now in relation to Cypress Lake. You can kind of see the streets that go around the outer edges of a Cypress Lake, as this will pass and probably move along Crouch Road, and then eventually move up towards, again, we have Benton, and I don't recall the number of that state highway here that comes out of Benton and moves off towards the east and eventually ends up down towards Houghton. But it is going to cross, again, this is Crouch Road, again, move up to the east of Benton. We'll see it continue to move up towards the north. You can see here's Allen Bridge. There's Rocky Mount. It will probably pass, see if I can get some of these roads here. Butler Hill Road, Cycle Plant Road. You can kind of read the Seven Parks Road. Just the general sense of, I'm just going along this line, as that is where the tornado is. That's where the direction that the radar thinks that this is moving. So that kind of shows you the possible locations that this could take. There is Merritt Road. There is where Parks Road comes out onto Crouch Road, and then you can see the tornado right here in this general area, and we'll go take a look at the debris signature indicated with the radar, and if I can get the hand tracker to work.
And while you're getting that to work, just an update for everybody over in Harrison and Marion County. Been watching that storm behind the scenes as well. The tornado debris signature is no longer there, so hopefully a sign that there's no longer a tornado on the ground. But that circulation is still approaching the Jefferson area. We've seen at times maybe the circulation lifts, but then drops back to the ground. So if you're in Jefferson, please stay in your place of safety here. Should be all clear in about 10 to 15 minutes or so. But again, that confirmed tornado, just based on what I'm seeing on radar, may not currently be there, but let's go ahead and stay in your place of safety there. But I think our one tornado that we know is on the ground, likely producing some damage, is that storm that we're following in Bossier Parish that is just past north of the track there. Todd?
Thanks, Josh. I think I have the hand tracker. I can't fix it unless I'm on camera, so it's a little bit more difficult. So let's go back to the traditional radar and give you, again, this is where our tornado is right now. Probably debris in here moving up to the east of Benton. Let's go back to the storm which prompted the tornado warning earlier in Shreveport. And this one really haven't seen much of rotation with this one. It's very difficult. There's nothing that really screams at me here that we have any, issues with any rotation as of just yet. We have yet to see anything that would indicate a debris signature with that one. And you can see the other storm that we were watching earlier that was passing very close to Karnak. Right now, it is just about ready to cross into Marion County as it moves along the far western edge of Cattle Lake. We'll cross into Marion County, and I'll go ahead and move this so you can kind of get a sense on the speed at which it's, the direction, I should say, in which it is moving. So you can see here it comes. It does look like it. Again, this area here, a little bit east of Jefferson, is where this could go. Again, if you have interest in Jefferson, still need to be in your place of safety, but I do think it is going to pass a little bit to the east of Jefferson. Now, keep in mind, Jefferson proper is east of 59 here, so this is going to move very close to Jefferson here in the next couple of minutes. This, too, you can see it flashing purple, is a confirmed tornado warning. So as of right now, we have 2 tornadoes on the ground that we can confirm. The one that is east of Jefferson, and another one which is northeast of Bossier City and is going to pass to the east of Jefferson. This one is a really nasty signature that you can see here, which is now located again south and east of Benton. So let me pause the radar again here and show you what we're looking at. So in terms of streets, so we have our rotation. So we talk about Crouch Road here. Looks like it is going to cross over Crouch Road. Let's see if I can get some of these other streets to pop on here. So you can see Cycle Plant Road further to the north. So the Crouch Road area, and again, with the latest velocities, the latest data is coming in. So it looks like it's just about ready to cross Crouch Road, and that would be east of Cypress Lake, and it will continue to move up towards the northeast, Cycle Plant Road here, west of Butler Hill Road. I'm just going to follow these lines. So you can see here's Alvin Bridge. There is 7 Pines Road. Moves between those 2 locations. Again, assuming these arrows are right, kind of broaden them out somewhat, but you can see Rocky Mount Road, and then it will continue. Let's go further downstream into Atrium Road, and we're getting pretty close to Plain Dealing, I would think. So Plain Dealing could eventually come into play if this tornado holds together long enough. So right now we're looking at it very close to Crouch Road there near Cypress Lake, and it is going to move east of Benton and potentially impact Plain Dealing, maybe passing near, south, or a little bit west of Plain Dealing is where that tornado could occur. And again, still nothing as far as anything with the tornado warning that includes Shreveport. Josh obviously keeping an eye on that, but so far nothing from that. Let's continue to go through these warnings as we have plenty to talk about here, and see if I can see something with this one. Again, I'm going to put this in the motion and see exactly what we are looking at as far as trend with this particular thunderstorm here. As put this in the motion.
And we should get a pretty good view of the storm in downtown Shreveport coming up in the camera probably in the next few minutes, Todd. So if you want to take a look at that, but I'm not seeing anything on radar that would suggest the tornadoes there, but we should get pretty good visual confirmation here shortly.
And before I do that, one quick look at this storm here. It's near Lucky right now. This one also a pretty good signature on the radar. That's going to move up between Sparta and Bienville. Mount Lebanon, Gippsland also could be in line to experience that. You can see that tornado warning that's in place. It looks like the thunder truck is on U.S. Highway 80. I'll take a look at that camera first, and then we'll go to downtown. So let's take a look at the image from the Ray 4 thunder truck. Again, a live view. It looks like they're on U.S. Highway 80. So we'll see if there's any sign of debris from that particular camera. I believe they are moving east. Actually, that looked like an interstate sign to me, so they must be on 20. So not seeing anything there that I was hoping that they would go down Highway 80 to see if we have any confirmation as far as damage from something that's gone through there. But it does look like it. Couldn't see the exit there. So that's the view from the Ray 4 thunder truck. Josh mentioned the storm in Shreveport. Let's take a look at the camera. This is the view from the Horseshoe Casino looking through downtown. And again, that is a live view. So this is something that we'll be have to keep an eye on. Obviously, this camera a bit high up can see a little bit further up, and you can see that line that's moving through. Uh-oh,
Well, somebody's controlling the
Yeah,
camera if they
someone's
want to
moving
swing
the
it
camera.
back to the storm right there. But that would be the circulation that prompted the tornado warning in Shreveport-Bossier City. So that is moving close to downtown. The actual circulation that we're watching, it's right over Queensboro, Jewella Avenue, and it's actually moving towards our studio here. So that is going to be moving up towards up to 20 towards North Market. So here near the studio, we're watching that circulation. Nothing on the ground, nothing that would indicate, obviously they're on camera, that anything is on the ground, but I'm keeping an eye on that one. Again, that circulation near Queensboro is going to be moving up towards North Market here at our new studios.
All right, thanks, Josh. Hopefully we can get the camera in it to see something there, but as Josh mentioned, nothing to show you as far as the view from the horseshoe that anything is touching down at the present time there along the from the Horseshoe Casino looking back into Shreveport. But where we do have something on the ground is this thunderstorm here, which is right now, again, continuing to move through Bossier Parish as it is sliding its way towards the north and northwest. And notice how strong it was here. Looks like the newest scan of the radar is showing a little bit less organization, perhaps. So hopefully that's a sign that this is beginning to weaken. Let's see if that trend continues, but you can clearly see it doesn't look as ominous here as it was when it was moving past Cypress Lake across Crouch Road, I should say, as it was moving in that general vicinity. So that is going to have to keep an eye for Rocky Mount. And go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like another tornado now developing. This is going to be in Shelby County between Center and Shelbyville. Area of rotation that we would be watching would be just to the east of Center. Definitely seeing a tornado debris signature with that one as well. So again, one of these storms falls apart and the next one pops right up. So I'll keep an eye on this one while we continue to keep an eye on the storms in the Shreveport-Bossier area. Todd?
Thanks, Josh. And just Josh showing you the debris signature there north of Shelbyville. Here's, again, a look at that. And again, this is the second band that I pointed out earlier. As I zoom this out and switch back to the traditional radar, we've seen these bands of storms that have been rotating around Beryl. So we've had this first band that has made its way into the area, and it is, again, moving through Shreveport and Bossier City right now, and you can see all the tornado warnings in effect because of that. And then we have another band which is coming in behind it, and we're starting to see rotation within this band as well. And as Josh mentioned, likely have a tornado on the ground. You can see that little indentation right there north of Shelbyville, east of Center. That is another likely tornado that's going to, you folks in Carthage will have to keep an eye on that, as that'll move towards the north, maybe could turn a little bit to the left as it moves further to the north. So we have these two bands. Once this first band clears Shreveport, we should be okay until the second band moves through. So if you're south of Interstate 20, as of right now, unless these storms fire up a bit more, it looks like most of the rotation now has moved north of Interstate 20 here in northwest Louisiana, the far corner, northwest corner of northwest Louisiana. You can see this very clear hook echo with this storm here in Bienville Parish, and we have another tornado warning here that is currently in place for Red River Parish. This one is just a little bit to the south and east of Martin. You can kind of see the hook associated with that as well. That is going to move up towards Hall Summit. So if you live in Hall Summit, Ringgold, Lake Bistineau, you'll have to keep an eye on that. Very well could move towards the Lake Bistineau area as it moves towards the north and northwest. In fact, give you some ETAs as far as when it will arrive in your area. And you can see that we will see it again, right here, if it does make it to Lake Bistineau, we're looking at it arriving pretty close to 4 o'clock is when it could move into the Lake Bistineau area. This one here near Lucky, again, probably going to maybe make it up into Claiborne Parish, could be under the gun with that one as it is moving more towards the north. And again, we've been watching the cells. I'm sure Josh has been watching the camera, which is on top of the Horseshoe Casino. Haven't seen much from that. Again, that would be viewing this cell right here, which is now moving into the western sections of Shreveport, and kind of zoom this in. So this is the area of concern here near the Allendale area. Here's North Hearn. Again, here we are right here. So that is going to be moving northward. So again, if we have any issues with power here at the station, then we'll find that out when this moves through. And again, the storm that we've been watching here in Bossier Parish does not look as organized as it once was. So I will pause the radar yet again. Problem is there's so many rotations, it's hard to spend a long time on any particular one of them. But you can kind of clearly see that this is not as well prominently indicating a tornado is on the ground as it once was. Let's go to the debris signature with this. And again, it doesn't look, obviously there's still some blue here, but nonetheless, I think we are looking at that one kind of weakening, which of course is good news. This has been on the ground since it entered the far southern sections of Bossier Parish. So let's take another quick look at what's happening elsewhere across the area. And again, I'm not seeing anything further to the south. So we have one tornado here. The area of suspect here is moving into the northern sections of Shreveport for this particular tornado warning. So far, we haven't had anything indicated with that as far as any specific location that we could point to as that was clear on the velocity scan. Of course, we have this confirmed tornado, which is now very close to the Jefferson, Texas area. So let me call up the debris signature with that. And you can see that has also gone down. You'll see the comparison of this as I show you the last hour. You can see right there, as it was near Karnak, right there, and how that is no longer visible. So we still have a possible tornado near Jefferson, but there's no evidence from the radar that it's on the ground. Now, keep in mind, it's moving away from the radar, so that makes it a little bit harder to see anything as far as debris, but it does look like that has gone down. Josh mentioned the storm with that band that's further to the south. There's that debris signature with that, which is now crossing the far northern, basically this is Texas Highway 7 between Joaquin and Center, so it is crossing there. Looks like this, get a couple scans of this so we can get a sense. We'll pass near Tenaha, and again, Carthage, you'll have to keep an eye on this. Again, at its current pace, we would see it move into the Carthage area. Get a sense on, so it passes near Tenaha in the next 10 minutes or so, and then passes Carthage, I would say between 3:55 and maybe 4:10. It would pass very close to Carthage. So Carthage, that's the time frame close to 4 o'clock, maybe a little bit after, that you would see this the tornado move close to your particular location there in Panola County. So those are the locations of our thunderstorms right now. So let me go back.
There was another tornado warning that snuck in there. There's so many warnings, including the tornado warnings and flash flood warnings, but there is a new tornado warning. I believe that's Martin Lake, which is down there just to the southeast of Beckville. This storm actually going to be moving through Rusk County. I believe that's the third warning that you've had in Rusk County. Nothing confirmed there, but there is an area of rotation that's over the lake there that we'll keep an eye on. Nothing that would be producing a tornado, I think, as of right now, but definitely enough on radar to prompt that tornado warning. So one of several storms that I'll be watching behind the scenes. Again, this storm likely is going to be moving off in this direction over the next 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, I would wonder how many tornado warnings we've seen so far, Josh, today.
I'm got to be over 20.
I would think, I would say 30.
Yeah.
It's a couple dozen at least.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it has been a very active day, and you can see there, we have one band here that's moving through the area right now. This has been responsible for, 4, 5, 6 tornado warnings at the same time as it's been moving north. And you can see the what hopefully will be the last band as far as these spinning thunderstorms is now moving into deep East Texas. And all of this is also going to spin around. And so we have 1, 2, 3 tornado warnings with that one. So as of right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tornado warnings on the radar here. So again, kind of shows you the amount of rotation that's happening as the center of Beryl is going to continue to move to the northeast through the Arklatex during the nighttime hours tonight. We will see, as this big rain shield and all these bands lift to the north, we will see some improvement as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Let's take a look at the latest run of the HRRR model. Again, this is something that updates every single hour. So this is the very latest in model information. So you can kind of see that last band moving through early this evening. Everything as far as the stronger storms begin to lift to the north and impact the northern parts of the Arklatex here late this evening. We should see some improvement after midnight as the strongest of the activity moves out. And then going into tomorrow morning, the center of Beryl should be beginning to move out of the Arklatex. And unless we see some of those feeder bands develop to the south of its center coming from the Gulf of Mexico, we should be okay. The good news is that the HRRR not showing any of those as of yet, which is a good sign, because I've noticed it does a fairly good job on indicating those sometimes. But nonetheless, we should see some improvement as we go into the day, the latter stages of the night tonight, as well as tomorrow. Most of tomorrow is looking dry for most of the area. And as far as additional rain, I'm going to show you how much rain has fallen on the Arklatex here. So here is a look at the depiction of potential rain. Again, this updates every hour, so this is new rain on top of what's already fallen. So you can see we could see an additional areas of yellow, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches. So additional 2 to 5 inches of rain could fall, especially over pretty much all of the Arklatex is where that's going to be a possibility moving forward. So that's the latest from the HRRR. Let's as we wait for new data to come in, let's talk about how much rain we've seen so far. You can see the blue boxes that we have in place. Those are flash flood warnings that are currently in place across the Arklatex. So let's take a look at the latest from the radar here. Again, same colors. Yellow is 2 inches, red is 5 inches. So we got 2 to 5 inches, which has already fallen over the southwestern sections of the area. And again, we could be looking at, 2, 3, 4 additional inches on top of that in these areas that have already gotten several inches of rainfall. So flooding, again, is becoming a concern in spots. We do have the numerous flash flood warnings that are currently in place as well. All right, so we've gotten some new data coming in. So let's go back to the radar here and show you what we can take a peek at as far as the latest on the thunderstorms moving across the Arklatex. As this data is, let's see if I can, there we go. We'll zoom in and show you, first of all, the confirmed tornado warnings and pause the radar here and show you what is happening right now as far as the rotation aspect of things as we take. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I believe there's another tornado debris signature, so probably another confirmed tornado coming for Bienville Parish.
I've been waiting on that one.
Yeah, that one, it's down.
Yep.
So we definitely have debris there. It hasn't been upgraded yet, but I believe tornado on the ground between Sparta and Bienville. That's going to be crossing Highway 154 if it hasn't already, and will continue to move north. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that one in Claiborne Parish as well.
So you can see, I'll circle this. Again, this is where we have, get my pencil. I've got too many things that look like pencils. All right, so we have right here is our tornado, and you can see where that will, how that matches up with the debris that we have indicated on the radar right now. So again, right there. So this right here is likely debris near Sparta, Bienville. That eventually is going to move up towards Mount Lebanon. Eventually move up towards the Gippsland area, Athens, Homer, maybe east of Homer, Haynesville. So I'm just kind of giving you a sense. Again, it's right here now. It's moving in this general direction. And we're talking a long ways out, obviously. But nonetheless, just kind of give you a sense on the direction this. It does look like it's going to stay to the west of Arcadia if you're watching in Arcadia and want to know about that one. Let's go back to our storm that's in Bossier Parish right now. Not really seeing much there as far as a debris signature still, but we do still have some circulation here with the storm, which is south of Plain Dealing. And so far, we haven't had any word from the newsroom as far as any confirmation of damage anywhere. So, and again, we do have a new scan of the radar here, which does show that we have, again, a pretty good rotation here, which is just to the west of U.S. Highway, east of U.S. Louisiana Highway 3 near Swindleville. And you can see that is Thornton Road, where it meets up with Louisiana Highway 3. So that is, again, one possible tornado there. The debris signature doesn't look as prominent as it was earlier, but keep in mind it's further away from the radar, and the radar is looking higher in the thunderstorm, so we very well could still have a tornado here. And go ahead, Josh.
Getting kind of ridiculous at this point. Now we have two more that we've been keeping an eye on. Of course, we told you about the storm that was near center that produced likely the tornado, and we do have some debris still being detected there. That's the storm near Tenaha, moving up Highway 59 in the direction of Carthage. I know Todd had mentioned that earlier. That warning has been upgraded to a confirmed tornado, and right next door we have another one that's moving over Toledo Bend Reservoir. That's going to be approaching Huxley. We will have to keep an eye on that one in portions of Sabine Parish. Eventually, this is going to move in the direction likely of Logansport. So again, storm near Tenaha likely producing tornado with damage, and same thing with the storm moving in the direction of Huxley. So I will be keeping an eye on those two. Just as soon as one drops off, we get two more that ramp up, it seems.
Unfortunately so, Josh. So we do have, again, these tornadoes. Again, we do have the confirmation of the tornado here in Bienville Parish. You can see that very clearly defined. This one in Bossier Parish looks like it's still getting its act together again, as it is moved past Benton, past very close to Cypress Lake, a little bit east of there, and near Plain Dealing and points west of Plain Dealing is where that could eventually end up going. And Josh was talking about these thunderstorms here. So we have, again, the rotation. Let's take a look at the debris where it is flashing. That's south of Huxley. Again, this is the second band that I pointed out that's starting to get a little bit more active. This will move up towards Huxley. Stanley, Logansport, you're going to have to watch this as it moves up your way. Just kind of give you a sense on when that could arrive in your area. Again, 405, a little after 4 o'clock is when it could arrive crossing U.S. Highway 84. Huxley, it looks like 345, 350 is when it moves into that area. And we pointed out, as Josh just talked about, this debris signature here. You folks in Carthage will have to keep an eye on that. Let me go ahead and move this so you can kind of see the motion that this is taking towards the north. If I can get the radar to work for me.
I would say I think there's probably 4 on the ground now, by my count.
4 on the ground
Maybe
now.
three for sure, and then 4 if that one near Rocky Mount hasn't lifted yet.
All right, so we have, that's too many.
That's way too many.
Yeah, way too many. So you can see that this one is near Tenaha right now. You have to watch this in Carthage, so I'll put this in and show you the possible timing of this one. Again, near Tenaha right now. Moves very close to Carthage. Looks like about 4 o'clock. Excuse me, when it could move into the Carthage, Texas area, as it is moving towards the north and west. So you can see, zoom this out, and you can see all the flashing purple boxes. Again, recently had Joe Cummins wanted to know how many tornadoes do we have on the ground. Well, what you do is you count the flashing purple boxes. So as of right now, we have 1, possibly 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
I'm going to say, I don't know if that one in Marion County is still going, because I didn't count that one. But if it is still there, it is 5.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did point that out earlier, as it was near Jefferson. It didn't look like we had any debris with that anymore. So I do think that probably has lifted. So at the very least, 4. And the one in Bossier may have lifted as well, but it looked like a little bit more organized as it was moving through that area. You can see the thunder truck where it's located. So let's take a look at the cameras now. And It looks like the Thunder Truck
Yeah,
is.
she's on 80.
Okay.
She said she was going to head down 80 and see if there was any damage.
Okay.
But again, traffic looks like it is flowing in both directions, so at least nothing on Highway 80 that was damaged. But we know there, just based on what we saw on radar, probably some damage to be found in those areas. So we'll keep an eye on it. I still think there may be just a tornado debris signature with that storm. It is approaching. That's the one that we've been following through Bossier Parish. It would be located near Rocky Mount at the moment here and likely headed towards Plain Dealing. I think it probably lifted for a few radar scans, but it may be putting back down at the moment. You can see the area of circulation would be between Rocky Mount and Plain Dealing there. So again, if we have time, we can maybe send Megan in that direction, but I think she's just looking to see if there is any confirmed damage there. But I do believe still have something on the ground between Rocky Mount and Plain Dealing, maybe in the process of weakening and lifting, but I still think there's enough there on radar to say that we probably have a tornado that's approaching Plain Dealing. It would be located right along Highway 3 at the moment and moving north.
I see some flashing lights there. That could be, and Megan is pulling over, so this could be where we have a little bit of debris there. And just some of the reports that we're getting into the newsroom: structure damage in Sabine Parish on Old Mitchell Road in Pleasant Hill. No injuries there. Trees down on Highway 3015 in Smyrna. We talked about Smyrna earlier, Josh. I don't recall exactly where that is. Luna Lane and Nubbin Ridge in DeSoto closing due to debris in roadway. So obviously we do have some debris there in, I believe Smyrna is in DeSoto Parish.
I want to say that may be the storm that eventually went on and did the damage over in Bethany.
Yeah, I agree. Bethany and Four Forks. And there's a comment from a viewer, Jessica Waldrop says it went right over Circle M Road. I don't know where that is, and trees are down everywhere. So okay. Circle M Road, somewhere in our areas where that, again, a tornado has gone through. But you can see the view from the Ray Ford Thunder Truck there on U.S. Highway, we believe Highway 80, which is west of Louisiana Downs. And this is near Eastwood, is where the radar show that we likely did see this tornado move through that part of Bossier Parish, east of, or west, I should say, of Houghton, and east of Louisiana Downs. Right there midway between the Downs and Houghton is where it crossed Interstate 20 and across U.S. Highway 80. And there were several neighborhoods in that particular part of Bossier Parish that likely have been impacted because of this. So we'll see what we can get from that. Don't see anything that's obvious based on what we're seeing on the camera there, but that is the view from the Ray Ford Thunder Truck. So as we look at that, looks like
I do have a new warning, not a confirmed one, but I'm just trying to keep up with all the tornado warnings. I think for last few hours and probably the next few hours, we're going to focus on where we know the confirmed tornadoes are. But since we have had some damage previously with this one, this warning, tornado warning now does include quite a bit of Cass County, and I think it's over towards Morris County as well. So that was an extension of the warning of the storm that moved through Jefferson. There's still some circulation there. Not seeing anything on radar that would suggest the tornado is down. But again, if it does pop back down here, it would be crossing over the Cass County line. It's going to be passing between Lanier and Avenger on its way up towards Hughes Springs if it holds together. So again, storms now as far north as Cass County and Texas, and there's more behind this on the way today, as well as just a lot of flash flood warnings that have been popping up in addition to the tornado warning. So bottom line, just kind of stay at home here.
Stay at home, and we're starting to see the power outage numbers go up quite a bit, as you might expect, Josh. It's no surprise that one of the redder parishes or counties in our area right now is Bossier Parish. We talked about that tornado that moved across U.S. Highway 80. So I'm going to click on some of the counties here and parishes and show you some of the numbers. Again, 10,000 without power in Bossier Parish. Compare that to 400 in Webster Parish. In Caddo Parish, as as of right now, 2,000. So again, Caddo, Bossier, relatively the same size. That tells you that we likely did have something move through Bossier Parish causing some widespread power outages. Down in Sabine Parish, 1,500. DeSoto Parish, 800. Notice the yellow in Shelby County, there, the 3,500. And in Panola County, we've had 2,500. And we've gone orange there in Russ County, 4,000. Again, this is a view of the numbers of outages that we have across the area. So let's show you on a percentage basis, because obviously the smaller, less populated counties or parishes tend to not have any, but on a percentage basis, you can see 22%. We've seen a couple of these rotations, tornadoes move through Shelby County. 22% of the county without power right now. 17% in Bossier Parish. You can kind of see how that compares to the 1.5% in Caddo Parish, and again over 5% there in DeSoto Parish, and even Henderson, a little bit bigger populated city in Russ County, 16%. So we're starting to see these power outages go up. I think a lot of this has to do with the tornadoes that we're seeing across the area right now.
Fairly confident that that tornado is back on the ground, moving into plain dealing.
Okay, let's switch gears again. And thanks, Josh, for I was just getting ready to switch gears. So let's do that and show you the latest. So I just wanted to get confirmation on what we are looking at here with the radar, and again, and the power issues that we're having across the Arklatex. So trying to get clean this up a little bit here first of all, and then I'll zoom back in to this particular storm here in Bossier Parish, which is very close to plain dealing. So you can see the rotation right now here near plain dealing. Let's show you the debris, and you can see it does look like maybe a little bit of debris possibly here south and west of plain dealing. So this is going to cross Highway 2 there, again, the Red River, and then cross Highway 2 a little bit to the west of plain dealing. Again, this storm will eventually move up towards into Miller County. So far, haven't talked at all about Southwest Arkansas, as all the activity has been with this band. That's about to change as this first band shifts more towards the north. Since we have this up, let's go ahead and zero in on the other locations where we have been watching debris. And we have this one storm. I'll put this, show you the last hour here of the radar, and you can see that this right there is probably west of Carthage. That's the storm we were watching earlier as far as debris signature with that one. And it looks like this is the next one right there.
Yeah, that one's on the ground too. Let me go ahead and bring back
those are not as clear cut as they were earlier in that particular part of the area. So go to Shreveport radar, and yeah, I don't see much there right now that screams as organized as it was when this came out. But we do have the second one here. That was for the Carthage one. That has since moved off towards the north and west. This is a little bit harder to see with that one. So
yeah,
let's
I think there
move
is
away. Just so many storms to talk about. The Jefferson storm, that has passed near Jefferson. Again, that tornado warning was extended to include parts of Cass County. Zeroing on that one, you can see that one right now, southwest of Lanier, southeast of Avenger. Probably will pass close to Avenger, maybe a little bit east, and maybe head up towards Hughes Springs is where that thunderstorm could go, or that possible tornado could go. And then we have the storm here near plain dealing. You can see how we did see some red with that as it really wrapped up. It's now crossing U.S. Highway 2, very close to plain dealing, maybe a little bit to the east, or I should say to the west of plain dealing there in Bossier Parish. The storm that prompted the warning in Shreveport, that has expired, so it looks like that band is moving through Shreveport. We do have a flash flood warning in effect for the Shreveport-Bossier City metropolitan area, so that is going to be a growing concern as the heavier rains from the current band and the one after it continues to move through. And you can see another very intense rotation here approaching Ringgold. This is going to be moving towards the north. Let's see if we have any debris signature with that. Wouldn't shock me if perhaps that may be debris. It's kind of difficult to see, but we would have to, that is possible that this could be on the ground here, there with that particular thunderstorm right there. You can see that rotation, which is now very close to Ringgold. Here's Lake Bistineau, and you can see where that has come, and it will eventually move into, especially the east side of Lake Bistineau as it moves into Webster Parish eventually. And we have, again, this tornado, which has been confirmed. This one was on the ground, has prompted a new tornado warning, which includes parts of Claiborne Parish. You can see that one, which is now near Mount Lebanon, is going to move up, crossing U.S. I-20 and U.S. Highway 80 between Ada and Gippsland, and then probably stays to the west of Homer, and then eventually moves to the west of Haynesville. So kind of give you a sense on, for you who live in Claiborne Parish. Again, we're talking about this storm right here. For some reason, the hand tracker today has been very fickle.
Hey, I believe we have a new tornado debris signature, Todd.
Maybe I didn't get it. Okay, got it now. So here's where it is. And again, it looks like it crosses Highway 79 southwest of Homer at 411. And given its current, passes a little bit to the west of Haynesville about 432 is when it could pass, again, that part of Claiborne Parish. So this tornado here, which has been on the ground, I think will stay a little bit to the west of Homer. We'll get pretty close to, but probably pass a little bit to the west of Haynesville, and definitely will stay to the east of Minden, Cotton Valley, Sarepta, and Spring Hill. Okay, so again...
I do have a new tornado debris signature that I'll run you through here really quickly. I've been kind of watching those storms that have been down towards Toledo Bend. We have a number of those that could potentially be producing a few tornadoes right now, but we have one that likely is right over the lake there. You can see that debris pop up very quickly. So this is the storm that we were watching between Noble and Huxley. So maybe a tornado there on the lake that is going to be moving up towards Logansport as well as this Stanley area. And this area has been hit pretty hard by the heavy rain, but we've been watching some of these other bands of storms move up from the south. So it looks like we are going to see some repeated cells here that could prompt these tornado warnings, not only in the Toledo Bend area, but over towards Sabine Parish as well. So we, again, are watching a number of confirmed tornadoes here, and I'm just kind of keeping an eye on things behind the scenes. But you can see the large blue boxes here as well. Those are flash flood warnings. Radar estimating now a good 3 to 4 inches of rain with more on the way. So that flash flood warning does include the Shreveport area as well as Marshall and over towards Longview. And again, those tornado warnings now pushing north into Arkansas. So that current tornado warning now does include portions of Miller County just to the south of Texarkana and portions of Lafayette County as well. Todd?
Thanks, Josh. Now I can hear you. Now we got that issue resolved. So, yeah, that is, again, Josh was going through the confirmed tornadoes that we have across the region right now. So let's, again, what we're watching on an overall view here are a couple of, obviously we have Beryl, which is moving into East Texas as we speak. And we have throughout the late morning and this afternoon seen a couple of these bands begin to rotate. This band right here has been producing numerous tornado warnings, and now we have a second band which does extend all the way down to the coast. You can see almost all the way down to the coast. So this, all of this is going to be spinning up. So it looks like we will see this band begin to impact areas further to the north here in southwest Arkansas. Keep in mind, even though you have not had a whole lot yet, there is a tornado watch, which doesn't...
there was actually a new watch just issued. So
right.
Our current watch was in effect until 10 p.m. There is a secondary watch that has been issued for some areas in Arkansas that now goes until midnight tonight. Let me, I can kind of flip that over and show that to you right now, but we did have some counties there in Arkansas north of I-30 that weren't included in the original watch, but you can see areas like Howard County, Sevier County now included in that watch until midnight tonight. So that gives you a sense of how much longer we could be dealing with this for the rest of today.
Yeah, that's right, Josh. And again, we have had several confirmations based on radar, but really nothing coming into the newsroom that we know of that gives us a visual representation of what has happened so far. Speaking of that, let's take a look at the Ray Ford Thunder Truck and see what, again, they had stopped on U.S. Highway 80 with some emergency vehicles that were there. Looks like they are now in a neighborhood there in probably somewhere close to Highway 80, looking for any damage issues. And I'm sure that once they do encounter some, that we will know about it. The fact that they haven't found anything so far is, I would think that it'd be pretty obvious that, given what we were seeing on the radar. But so far, we have not seen anything as far as video, minus, again, the emergency vehicles that were there on Highway 80, again, between the Downs and Houghton. So, again, this is a view from the Ray Ford Thunder Truck, searching probably somewhere in that area east of Louisiana Downs off of Highway 80, looking at for some issues with damage. I see them slowing down there, but I don't see anything immediate that shows that we have had anything move through. Trying to see if I could see the name of that street. Obviously, it's a little bit dark, and it's probably I'm going to block it. I can't tell. But anyway, that is the view from the Ray Ford Thunder Truck. Obviously, someone monitoring that, and they will let us know if they have any confirmation of any damage there in that particular part of Bossier Parish. So let's go back to Pinpoint Doppler. And again, we have this one band that's going to be moving into southwest Arkansas. So you're going to be under the gun here basically from now through the rest of the evening, more than likely. As far as northwest Louisiana, south of Interstate 20, you've seen the first band clear, but we have this second band that's going to be rotating up. And you can see it, too, has a pretty good line of tornado warnings that are currently in place. So we're going to continue to see numerous tornado warnings issued for a good chunk of the Arklatex here as we go through the rest of the afternoon and evening hours. So let's focus in on the southern band first, and then I'll move back to the northern band, and you can see the thunderstorms, and we'll take a look at the Shreveport radar and what it's seeing in terms of spin. And let me pause this right now and show us what we have right now. So we have one tornado warning for this cell. That is not in our area. Let's zero in on this cell here, which is, don't see anything that is, obviously the rotation here looks like it is weakened somewhat. It looks like maybe here in the central sections south of Logansport is where that could be progressing. And you can see, again, another confirmed. That is the one that we were watching earlier near Carthage. Again, very difficult to kind of pinpoint exactly where that is currently. We have another tornado warning that
is a new one. I was about to jump in.
Yeah.
That one does include more sections of Bossier Parish, Red River Parish. That warning in effect until 4:45. The storm is going to be the one there that's near between Ninock and Grand Bayou. So that's probably going to be moving up in the same direction. But definitely can see on radar that there is some rotation. Nothing confirmed with that one, but obviously keeping an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it. Let's show you where it's been so we can kind of give a sense on where it's going. So it does look like it is moving, again, pretty much along this, right in this general direction as it moves up here. Probably will take a course a little bit further to the east than the storm we were watching earlier that moved through Ninock and eventually up towards Eastwood there along Highway 80. This could eventually move into right along the Red River as this eventually moves into perhaps South Bossier Parish or southeastern DeSoto Parish. Again, we have nothing as far as a confirmation as of yet. But again, that is one that we are going to be watching. You could see this one obviously looks a little bit more easier to define. This one right here, which just went through the Ringgold area, that is could impact. It looks like it could move up towards Doyline and Sibley as it moves towards the north. Here's Lake Bistineau. I think I pointed out earlier this would impact the east shoreline of Lake Bistineau. Anywhere close to the east side of Lake Bistineau is where that will move through, passing between Doyline and Sibley. And you can see that we have, again, this confirmed tornado. You can see that went through Lucky, past east of Mount Lebanon, and it is now north of Ada and west of Athens. So this is going to move up along the far eastern edge of Claiborne Parish. And this one is another pretty prominent signature that you can see there, which if you're watching at home, this is probably going to stay. Again, you probably got the alert on your phone. It does look like this is going to stay to the west of Homer, and I do think it probably will stay to the west of Haynesville as well. Far northern Shongaloo may have to watch this eventually. They're in northern Webster Parish. Let's go back to the plain dealing storm. It is, again, crossed here, Highway 2 west of plain dealing. It is now moving up along the Red River. And could approach Doddridge. So far, we do have a new tornado warning that has been extended further to the north and west for that storm. That is now, again, close to the Arkansas-Louisiana line, right along the Red River, and it's going to threaten the Doddridge area. And again, if that holds together, zoom this out, you can see where this has been. It does look like this could, if it holds together long enough, make it towards the Texarkana area. Now, we're talking a bit of time here, but nonetheless, 4:42, so a good 45 minutes or so, we could see this move into the Texarkana area as, again, that first band is going to be moving up further to the north into southwest Arkansas. And, so that is another one. Go ahead, Josh.
I wanted to say that as many tornado warnings that we've had, the Weather Service actually saying that based on their wind profiler, that shear is actually increasing. So as many of these storms that have been spinning throughout the afternoon, conditions actually becoming even more favorable for tornadoes as we continue through the rest of the afternoon and probably closer to sunset.
Josh, you don't bring good news. That's not what I wanted to hear.
No, I know.
It's been one of those days, and it looks like it's not going to get any better as everything shifts more towards the north. So you can see the one storm here, which, again, the flashing purple boxes indicate tornado warnings that have been confirmed. So you can act as if this is on the ground. So it is approaching Doddridge. So if you live in Doddridge, you should be in your place of safety. Falk probably will pass close to Falk, so you should also be. You're under a tornado warning as well. We do have this one storm that, again, passed very close to Jefferson. Have seen that extended, but it doesn't look quite as obvious as it is further to the east, but this is passing north of Avenger and moving up towards Midway and the Dangerfield, Texas areas. And let's go back down to the south, and you can see the thunderstorms here. Again, the storm here near Carthage. You can see a little bit of rotation here just to the east of Carthage. And we have another one, which, again, right in here, which is southwest of Mansfield. That's moving up towards the north. And then we have the one that we mentioned earlier. Pretty much every county or parish has seen a tornado warning at some point today, it seems like. And you can see the rotation here, which is north of Grand Bayou, which is going to probably move very close to Ninock and move parallel to the Red River. Elm Grove, Taylortown, kind of give you a sense on when these will arrive in your part of the Arklatex. So again, we're looking at this storm right here. Again, close to Ninock, 414, Elm Grove, 425, Taylortown, about 430 is when it moves into that particular part of Bossier Parish. And then further downstream, zoom this out, again, it very well could move into Bossier City here. Let me clear that off there once again. And show you again when it could move into Bossier City. So again, we're talking about this storm right, trying to get my bearings on what I'm talking about here. This storm right here. And again, if it were to hold, again, we're talking about 4:45, 5 o'clock is when it would move into Bossier City. So a good 45 minutes or so before that moves into Bossier City itself. But it is in the path that we could see this move into Bossier City. And Josh, have you heard of anything as far as, now we've had the radar confirmation, but have we had any visual confirmation of anything touching down?
Yeah, occasionally I have seen a few photos come through the chat room here, and I know the news team is efforting to get some of the damage reports together and get some of that for us. But basically, some damage reports trickling in. Unfortunately, with the storms moving through the Benton area earlier, we knew there was the confirmed tornado with those. We're hearing some reports there of some homes that were destroyed. Fortunately, it doesn't look like there were any injuries with that, but it just kind of gives you a scope of what's going on. I think there has been so many of these warnings. They've been coming in so quickly here that we haven't had a lot of time, or
True.
even people out in the field haven't had a lot of time to just snap pictures and get those back to us. And I know a lot of folks are probably dealing with some damage right now, but I would suspect next few hours we are going to see a lot of just heartbreaking photos come in of some of the damage that has occurred here across the region this afternoon.
And we don't advise going out and looking for damage either, because there's so much out there right now.
And more on the way.
And there's plenty more on the way. So again, just looking at the overall scope of things here, and let me pause this to kind of show you that we have, as of right now, we have 1, 2, it's hard to count them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tornado warnings that are currently basically in effect right now all across the Ark, Texas. We have our first band here, which is moving northward. We have a second band here, which is going to also spin around Beryl. So we're going to see these, more than likely see these tornado warnings continue here for the rest of the afternoon and probably well into the evening hours here as Beryl continues to move into the Ark, Texas. So I see one rotation that kind of caught my eye since I'm zoomed out quite a bit. That's this one, which is in Cass County, and you can see this one right here, which is, again, east of Hughes Springs, west of Linden. That is moving towards the northwest. So Linden, I do think it probably stays east of Dangerfield. Omaha, Naples may have to watch that one eventually as it continues to move towards the northwest. Again, this is one of those purple flashing boxes where that basically means that a tornado is on the ground. So we have this, again, tornado that is now just to the southwest of Doddridge. That is going to continue to move right along the river and eventually move up. If you believe the direction that this arrow is pointing at, and they usually do a pretty good job, it does look like this will pass a little bit to the west of Fouke and then eventually move up Highway 49, possibly into the Texarkana area. So you folks in Texarkana, you have a storm right now in the southern sections of Miller County. It eventually could make it up into the Texarkana area, although it's still quite a ways away, a good probably 45 minutes to an hour before it gets there. Elsewhere, let's zoom in on the other tornado warnings that we have in play right now. You can see the strong rotation. We talked about this one, which has moved out of Bienville Parish. It's now moving up southwest of Homer. This one probably will pass and cross Highway 79 here, just a few miles east of the Webster-Claiborne Parish line, and eventually move up, passing between Shongaloo, maybe getting closer to Shongaloo than Haynesville. So those are areas downstream that could be in line to receive the brunt of that particular possible tornado. Again, these are all red boxes, meaning that we don't have anything confirmed as of yet. So we talked about this particular thunderstorm here, and it doesn't look quite as obvious as to the current location of that. So I'm going to try to move this so I can kind of see a trend here. Yeah, maybe it looks like it's maybe south of Ninock right now. So this is moving along the Red River. That one is getting a little bit harder to decipher exactly where we may have anything as far as, again, the rotation associated with that. And we have another confirmed tornado warning for this cell, which has been moving along Toledo Band. It's moving into the southwestern corner of the DeSoto Parish and will continue to slide its way towards the north. And you can see that the storm in Shelby County, it looks like it has moved out of this particular warning as we have, again, that storm which is moving up into Panola County. Again, it is getting harder to see. Right in here is where we could have, again, that possible tornado right now, which is to the east of the Carthage, Texas area. So, again, we have numerous tornado warnings that are currently in place across the area. So, as we wait for new radar data to come in, let's go ahead and take another look at the cameras across the area. Here's a look at the Ray Ford Thunder Truck, and you can see the truck and its current location, what they are seeing there. Again, we're assuming that they were somewhere there in Bossier Parish looking for maybe a little bit of damage. It looks like they're pulled off on the side of the road right now. So, again, nothing that offers any insight as to, and it looks like it's the emergency vehicle. So we may have something there at that particular location. I'm sure they're efforting maybe getting some video to get sent back to the station. Looks like that truck is leaving, so we might get a little better view. So it does look like several emergency vehicles there, probably along Highway 80 there in Bossier Parish. So that is the latest view from the Ray Ford Thunder Truck there in Bossier Parish. So let me give you another look at some of the other cameras across the area. Again, mentioned the Shreveport. We were watching a tornado-warned storm in Shreveport. This is the view from the Horseshoe Casino looking back into Shreveport, and obviously nothing that looks very ominous, just lots of rain. We do have a flash flood warning, by the way, that is now in place for the Shreveport-Bossier City metropolitan area. Look at what's happening in Texarkana. So far, so good in Texarkana, but that is going to change. You can see a little bit of moisture on the ground. We are watching a storm right now that is over southern Miller County near Doddridge, that if it continues to its organized state and continues to move in the direction that it's headed, very well could move into Texarkana here in the next hour or so. And just a view of all the different cameras across the area, and you can see those cameras and kind of give you a sense. Again, the camera in Marshall is obviously offline, and you can see all is quiet so far. DeKalb, DeQueen, Southwest Arkansas, McCurtain County. Don't let your guard down, even though it's been quiet. You have yet to see the first of these bands move into your part of the area. Your time is coming here as we go into the evening hours. So you can see the various views from the cameras here that we have here in the forecast center. So again, you can see the current location of the tornado warnings that are currently in place. The purple boxes indicate confirmed tornado warnings that are currently in place across the Arklatex. And as we move forward here, you can see we have the one that I pointed out earlier for Texarkana. That is now right along the Red River, very close to Doddridge. If you live in Fouke, this is going to come very close to you. So let's kind of give you a ballpark estimation as far as a possible time of arrival there in the Fouke, Arkansas area, and show you when it's going to be arriving in Fouke. So right now, very close to Doddridge. Looks like about 10 or 15 minutes we'll see it move very close to Fouke. Genoa, again, could come into play here. That'd be 440 or so. And again, if it does make that turn to the left, which is possible, we could see it move close to Texarkana, 445, 450. Go ahead, Josh.
I'll say, Todd, I know it doesn't look as impressive on radar at the moment here, but one of the emergency managers from Lafayette County chiming in saying that they do believe there's a tornado on the ground close to Gin City there in Lafayette County. So that would be with that storm. I believe it is still on the ground there.
Okay, that's basically the storm that I was showing. You said Gin City. I never
I don't know where that is, but I do know it is the emergency manager from Lafayette County.
Okay.
So it would,
I would
have
assume-
to be from that storm, I would
Yeah,
guess.
I believe it's probably that one. So that is the one that's headed down towards the Falk area. And it actually looks pretty organized there.
And yeah, while we're at it, looks like the tornado warning that was over in Cass County. We've been watching that circulation. Last radar scan does show maybe a debris signature popping up there. So that tornado warning has now been upgraded to a confirmed warning and extended out. So that does include a large portion of northeast Texas at the moment there. So that now includes, in addition to Cass County, that would be Morris and Titus County. We know the circulation and the tornado that's likely on the ground here causing some damage is going to be located close to Hughes Springs. It will probably scoot between Dangerfield and Midway there. So if you're in that Highway 259 corridor, we'll be crossing there. But I've seen enough on radar that does indicate maybe we do have a debris signature there. But that has been upgraded to a confirmed tornado warning. That is a new warning now in effect for those counties in Texas.
All right, thanks, Josh. Obviously, that debris signature not as prominent as the ones we were seeing earlier here, but this is the area that we're looking at. And again, we have seen more yellows and blues with this product earlier with some of the previous ones. But again, this purple box means if you live in Omaha, Naples, this is headed your way. So let's go back to the velocity scan again. This is the location of it moving towards the north and west. Should pass a little bit to the east of Dangerfield. Cookeville, maybe, Omaha, Naples, could move right along, as Josh mentioned, along that 259 corridor there in the Morris County area. So that is the latest confirmed tornado warning that we have across the area. Again, this is for that first band that has been causing all the issues for the past 4 hours. Again, we have the one that we have a confirmed tornado there near Gin City. That is going to pass very close to Falk here in the next 10 minutes or so. And then we have another very strong rotation, which is right now just to the southwest of Homer. So far, no confirmation with this one. This will move up and basically move between Haynesville and Shongaloo as it moves towards the north and northwest. And then we do have the one storm that is in Bossier Parish right now. This is the one that was issued earlier. This one not as easy to detect here as far as a current location of that one. If anything, it's moving right along U.S. Highway 71 there between Ninock and Elm Grove. And you can see the another tornado warning that has been issued further to the south there. And again, with this one, if anything, it's between Converse and Pleasant Hill. Also have a little bit of rotation here near Benson. But this one is moving off towards the north, so you folks in Mansfield will have to watch that one. And that is pretty much the second band. And we do have, you can see another tornado warning south of our viewing area. So we have more rotation, which is going to be coming northward. So those are the current tornado warnings that we have in place right now. And again, we have this one which moved across Rusk County. It looks like it's moving into the western sections of Gregg County right now to the west of Longview. And that is pretty much it. And while we're waiting for new data to come in, let's go ahead and show you the latest on power outages. Again, at last count, we had 10,000 without power in Bossier Parish, and you can see the numbers are obviously going up across the area. Let me switch this to now and show you what's happening right now. And again, these are going to be actual numbers as far as outages. So this will kind of give us a sense as to the extent of power issues. Actually, the number in Bossier has come down. It was 10,000 earlier, so that's good news. And let's kind of click here, 400 in Webster Parish, in DeSoto Parish, and you can see the reds here. That's at least 5,000. So you can see the power outage numbers increasing here over the, especially northwest Louisiana and deep east Texas. We have almost 10,000 without power in Bossier Parish, 10,000 without power in Shelby County is a lot for Shelby County. On a percentage basis, 2/3 of the power customers in Shelby County without power, almost half in Panola County, and you can see 13% in Bossier Parish. So widespread power outages are taking place there in Deep East Texas. And again, this, in addition to SWEP, this is all power companies. This is not just SWEPCO. So basically, when a power goes out, it takes several minutes for that data to come into our system. So there is somewhat of a lag sometimes, but you can see the extent of the power issues that are now ongoing. And keep in mind, this part of the Ark-La-Tex has experienced 2 of these bans. So that's why the percentage basis, the power outages are a bit higher in those particular areas. So let's go back to the radar and show you what's happening here with the numerous tornado warnings that we currently have in place across the area. And you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 current tornado warnings that are currently in place. So we're going to start at the top here and work our way around the clock, if you will, as far as these warnings. And we'll zero in on, first of all, the tornado warning with this storm, which is, again, this cell has been moving right along the Red River and is right now still very close to the Red River. And again, let's see if I can get Gin City. Well, there's Pleasant Valley. I don't see Gin City popping up there. But nevertheless, you can see the rotation here, which is near Pleasant Valley. This will eventually move up towards the Fouke area as it moves towards the north and northwest. We have, again, another tornado here, which is going to be right now near Hughes Springs, moving up towards Omaha, perhaps Cookeville. Naples could come into play as well. So that is another tornado warning that is in play here for that part of the Ark-La-Tex. And you can see that we have yet another tornado warning for Gray County. This one a bit harder to decipher, so that is obviously moving out. And you can see another box popping on here for this cell here, which is now near Sibley. Another tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service here for this cell between Dixie Ann and Doyline. That is going to move up towards Ivan and probably move into a little bit to the west of Plain Dealing. So that is another location of a possible tornado here, again, which is now between Dixie Ann and Doyline. We have you can see this signature here looks much more organized than one further to the southwest, as this one right now. Here's Homer, and this tornado warning, again, this one will pass very close to Shongaloo, as I'm going to move these storms here during the last half hour, which should be a little bit slower. So you can kind of see the direction that this is taking. It does look like it's moving and probably will pass a little bit fairly close to, and maybe a little bit to the east of Shongaloo is where this possible tornado will track as it moves towards the north and northwest. You can see, again, the additional tornado warning here for this storm. That is also moving towards the north and northwest, and this very well could move west parallel to 371 as it moves through the rest of the Ark-La-Tex. And as far as Shreveport-Bossier City, we do not have any warnings that include any of the metro area proper. We do have this one cell here, which is again down basically south of Elm Grove. We have to keep an eye on that. This has been gradually inching its way up the Red River, and it does look like that warning has just expired. So that, again, never really did look that well organized, but we'll keep an eye on that one, as that cell will eventually move into Shreveport and Bossier City. You can see the storm that did once was confirmed. That has also gone away here for Logansport, and it does look like we have yet another tornado warning for DeSoto Parish, for a cell that is now, again, northwest of Pelican. And again, this one is sliding its way towards the north. And again, not as prominent as some of the other rotations that we've seen. So this area here will soon impact the Mansfield area. And again, this will have to be watched since it is moving north. Again, right now we're talking about something down here which could eventually make its way up into the Shreveport-Bossier City metropolitan area. So those are, I think I've covered most of them. Let's move our way into.
And did you cover that? That looks like there is a debris signature now near Mansfield once again. Did you see that one?
Let me take a look at that. That rotation doesn't look. We'll see. Let me take a peek. It does look like we have. Let me take a peek at that.
And there's one, yeah, it's coming up, it's moving out of Benson, so it will be approaching Mansfield. But it's definitely there.
Let's see. I don't see it. Did I click? Yeah, that's debris. I don't see anything there, Josh.
Yeah, if you wanna flip it over to links 2, it may just be that the debris is not showing up right now at the moment, but we do have definitely some debris being indicated with that storm. So that's yet another one for DeSoto Parish. You can see the spot right there.
Yeah.
So there's your confirmed tornado. So we've got another one. Looks like it developed right on the parish line and is moving north towards Mansfield. So folks in Mansfield, you know the drill. This is not the first time today that you've had to get to that place of safety. And also wanted to point out that they have extended that warning in Arkansas. So Texarkana, your phone's probably going off as well, indicating you that there is a tornado warning that now does include both sides of Texarkana. So that would be Miller and Bowie County. That goes until 5:15. We've had a few pictures come in through the chat room here that there is a tornado on the ground with that storm. So that would be the circulation approaching Fouke. We'll be moving into Texarkana shortly.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Again, for some reason that data is missing from my. In fact, looks like I've lost all of the data.
And unfortunately, we know Mansfield was hit hard earlier, so we know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of first responders that are out there going through some of the damage and trying to get everybody situated there. And now they have this next tornado-producing storm on the way. So if you know anybody there in DeSoto Parish that has been kind of reacting to that damage or out there assisting with some of the cleanup, make sure you give them a heads up. Let them know that there is another severe storm on the way with a likely tornado with it.
And again, since this is where our tornado is currently located, again, it looks like it's probably about 10 minutes from moving into the Mansfield area. Downstream, Kingston at about 450 or so. So again, those are the two more prominent locations that this tornado could eventually go to as it moves through the middle of DeSoto Parish. You probably heard the alerts going off from everyone's phone here in the newsroom. We do have a new tornado warning that has been issued for that cell that I pointed out earlier in Bossier Parish. Again, it does look like, now that I'm going to stop this, I see one little speck here I want to investigate a little bit closer. So this is now, and we'll take a look at the rotation aspect of things. It's possible that right in here that we have something between Taylortown and Elm Grove. This is yet to be confirmed as of yet, but this is moving right along US 71 right now, and will continue to move into, especially Bossier City could be impacted if it continues that current direction and moving parallel to that and the Red River as it moves towards the north and northwest. So again, not as easy to see the exact location. I would be guessing somewhere in here right now as far as where that possible tornado could be across the area. So again, we have all these tornado warnings in place, and you can see the one tornado warning here that is now southwest of southeast of Shongaloo. That's going to move up towards Shongaloo and Haynesville, and eventually move into southwest Arkansas as well. So if you live in Shongaloo, Haynesville, you should be okay, but Shongaloo, it looks like this one probably is going to move into your area here in the next several minutes, again, moving towards, so we're probably looking at it arriving in the next 10 or 15 minutes, moving very close to the Shongaloo Louisiana area. And then for you folks here, so it moves Shongaloo and eventually maybe a little bit east of Taylor and then up towards Buckner there in DeSoto Parish. So that is one. And what we're going to really concentrate on now is where we're going to zoom the radar out and where we can clearly see where we have a possible tornado, then that's what we're going to focus on, these more obvious rotating storms right now because there's so many of them. You can see this rotation here. This is a purple box, this one south of Fouke. That rotation located south of Fouke is confirmed right now. So let's take a look at the debris signature from that. And again, this right in here probably is that debris that we're seeing south of Fouke. So if you live in Fouke, you should be in your place of safety right now. And this probably is going to move right along 49 and 71. So you folks in Texarkana, keep an eye on this one as this will eventually move down towards the north and west and into the Texarkana area here, probably as we go through the next, say, 25 minutes or so. We'll see it move down towards the loop. It crosses 39 about 5 o'clock. So that kind of, or 30, I should say, at 5 o'clock. So that kind of gives you a sense of the timing and when that storm, that tornado, which again the purple box means that it is confirmed, will be passing through that part of Texarkana and the Arklatex. So that is one of the more obvious rotations that we have on the radar right now. Again, we have this confirmed tornado here in northeast Texas. That is not as obvious as it once was. Let's see if we have any. Again, I'm not seeing anything with that screams on the ground right now. But that is, again, up here in the heart of Morris County right now. I'm going to zoom this back out, and it'll be obvious which storm. So we have this storm here. We have the storm here. Those are the two more ominous-looking rotations, and another one that's here. Looks somewhat promising there west of Minden is another area of concern. So that is one that we could be looking at as well. But notice these are red boxes that we don't have anything as far as a confirmation from those. And again, it's very difficult to point to you might recall when we were tracking the tornado that moved through Eastwood, that moved basically near Houghton, west of Houghton. It was clear where that the location was. It's not so clear here. So it's somewhere in this area. If you live here in Bossier City, especially south part of Bossier City, you should be in your place of safety. And again, it does look like that is gradually moving up US Highway 71. Again, we have another rotation here. This one is that we had a pretty good indicator here earlier. That was south of Mansfield. And again, this very well could be debris there south of Mansfield. So that is another area of concern as I'm going to move and show you how that matches up. Again, the velocity scan of this does not look as impressive as it once did. But nonetheless, another storm moving through the Mansfield area. And again, this was, again, during the past half hour, this signature was much more clear than what it is right now. You can see that would be a clear tornado. It's still there. We are detecting some debris, but you can see that is gradually, the signature is not as prominent as it once was. And the velocity scan, as I showed you, doesn't look as organized as it once was as well. So hopefully that tornado has lifted or is lifting, and we should see things improve there, hopefully for the Mansfield area. Not out of the woods yet, but there is a good trend with that particular thunderstorm right now. Going back to the velocity scan of the radar, and again, we have all these thunderstorms that are moving northward, and you can see the numerous tornado warnings that are currently in place. As rain is going to be an issue as well, as we do have a flash flood watch for all of the area. You can see these blue boxes. That's where we do have flash flood warnings that are currently in place. And you can see the persistent rain that has been quite heavy here in these areas. And that does, starting to include the Shreveport-Bossier City metropolitan area. So we are going to be looking at this whole rain shield gradually lifting towards the north and east, so flooding is going to be a concern. And the latest from the HRRR model as far as how much rain we could see, show you that particular that number here, and you can see this does not include the rain which has already fallen. If I can get the hand tracker to work. Obviously, it doesn't want to work today. There it goes. So you can see the main heaviest band will probably, this is the activity which is now in East Texas. That's going to move to the north. So on top of what's already fallen, we're looking at another 2 to 4 inches in most locations, maybe a little bit more than that in southwest Arkansas. Here in northeast Texas, or I should say northwest Louisiana, the rain will not be as heavy. Another inch or 2 will be a possibility. So the heaviest rain probably will be in this area here going through the next 18 hours. And as far as the timing of things, another look at the HRRR. Again, this updates every hour, so this is brand new model information, and you can see the progress that this is going to be making as it moves towards the north and west. So again, by later this evening, we will see conditions improve here in East Texas and northwest Louisiana, and then as we go past midnight, things should improve across southwest Arkansas, and then we will see things begin to wrap up here tomorrow. Maybe a leftover scattered shower in the morning. Unless we see those feeder bands develop overnight, I think most of tomorrow will be dry for most of the area during the day tomorrow. So we just have to get through the next say 6 to 9 hours, and once we get past midnight, it looks like the worst of the stronger thunderstorms will move out of the area. So that is, again, we have to get this area up through the Arklatex, and then we'll see some improvement. So you can see the numerous tornado warnings. Pretty much every one of these red cells has been warned for a tornado throughout the day today. That's been the trend. And right now we have, again, looks like 3 confirmed tornado warnings that are in place. One for this cell, which is moving into basically moving into Morris County as it is moving towards the northwest. I don't think that one looked quite as promising as it once was. Try to get this cleaned off here. So again, the purple boxes mean that basically those are areas where we have seen some possible debris, and again, it's very difficult to pinpoint exactly where we have anything rotating. It looks like that this one, as far as what we're seeing on the radar, is not as obvious as it once was. You can see how that compares to the storm that is now approaching Fouke. So this is now just to the south of Fouke. If you're in Fouke, you should be in that. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I was to say, I was keeping an eye on the RDOT camera there. There's a camera that's located just north of Fouke. It was unfortunately pointed to the north, but obviously somebody is paying attention. They have flipped it around to the south there, so we should get a pretty good view. I'm not sure that's the camera there, but the one that I have pulled up that's located near Fouke, if you can actually pull that up in the back, it may help us out here so it won't tie up my weather computer. But whatever is on the ground there is going to be moving almost directly at this camera location. This location here is located, there's a little split just north of Fouke, and I believe that's where the camera is pointed. It's now pointed south, so we're obviously going to catch a lot of rain on the camera, but I'll kind of keep an eye on this and see if anything shows up on the camera. Todd?
Thanks, Josh. So thanks for catching that. That's, again, probably one of the most organized rotations that we see. It does look like it's probably past that camera's location, just based on the latest couple scans of the radar. There are more of those RDOT cameras up here as you get closer to Texarkana, so we'll be monitoring those as well as this, again, confirmed tornado continues to move just to the southwest or near I-49 and US 71 there in Miller County. So that is probably one of the stronger rotations that we're seeing on the radar right now. You can see another very strong rotation here with this particular thunderstorm. This clearly is one of the strongest rotations, and I'd be surprised if we didn't have anything as far as debris with that one, and really it doesn't look like we do have anything. So no radar confirmation of anything on the ground, but this one, again, if you're watching in Haynesville, again, this will pass to your west. Shongaloo here in Webster Parish, you can see the motion of it towards the north-northwest. It's going to come pretty close to Shongaloo. If you live between Shongaloo and the parish line here, you should be in your place of safety, as that's going to move through that part of Webster Parish. And then further downstream, we'll see it probably stay to the east of Taylor. And zoom this out here so you can kind of see, get a sense on where it's going. Probably will pass to the west of Magnolia. So that's how this looks like it's going to pass through the southwestern half of Columbia County there in southwest Arkansas. So that is the latest on that particular possible tornado. So far, not yet confirmed. Again, really haven't been talking about these warnings here in Bossier Parish because it's very difficult to see exactly where the location of this currently is. If anything, it's north of 20 now, moving up towards the Cotton Valley area. Again, it's not as obvious as what I've been pointing out further away from the radar. And you can see another one. If anything, it's right here, and looks like it is probably, let's see if I can get some location here, is where this could be located. So here you can see the various neighborhoods along Barksdale Boulevard. So we're talking about this right here is where that is, to the east of Barksdale Boulevard. Looks like it is going to move up directly towards, this is where 220 comes into 20. So this is going to move, looks like across the western edge of Barksdale, and then move up towards Louisiana Downs, actually. So again, not saying that there's something on the ground here. I'm just pointing out the current location of this possible tornado there, which is again to the east of Southern Garden, South Gate Estates, and moving up towards Louisiana Downs in that particular area. Again, this is not confirmed. This is just the current location of this rotation that we're seeing on the radar as we speak. Let's go back down to the south, and you can see the storm that we were watching earlier for Mansfield. Does look like it may be trying to organize itself just to the northeast of Mansfield. Right here, we could have a possible rotation right now to the north and east of Mansfield. That's eventually going to move up north into the northern sections of DeSoto Parish. Again, that up near the Kingston, Louisiana area is another location of where that could eventually go. So that is, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, another one on the ground for you. Tornado debris signature evident now near Shongaloo. I think we've been covering that storm. Todd just went through that one. But there's Haynesville, there's Shongaloo, there's your tornado debris signature. So that will be crossing the Arkansas state line. It looks like fairly close to Columbia. May catch portions of Lafayette County as well, but that one going to be crossing the state line. But we have another radar confirmed tornado close to Shongaloo and moving north.
And notice how that coincides with that more obvious radar couplet that we're seeing there with pinpoint Doppler. Again, this is the one that I pointed out right here. And when I looked at the debris signature, it wasn't very obvious. But now that will, as Josh has pointed out, that will become more obvious right there. Yeah, you can see it developing here with this particular product there. So that's the location right on the Webster-Claiborne Parish line, a little bit to the east of Shongaloo. And that is, again, this tornado is likely going to pass between Taylor and Emerson. Again, it's down here now, move to the west of Emerson, and then we could see it move a little bit to the west of Magnolia. You folks in Magnolia are going to have to watch this, but I kind of doubt that it will make it that far to the east, especially as it moves more toward the north. Eventually, we might see a little bit of a turn to the left a little bit. But nonetheless, a confirmed tornado there near Shongaloo, which is eventually going to move into Columbia County. So that is the latest confirmation of a tornado that we have. Let's see if since we have this particular product on the radar here. Let me zero in and see if we can see anything obvious right there. It looked like we may have had some debris south of Falk, potentially. That has since gone away. And let's give you an update on that, since this is approaching Texarkana. You can see that again, tornado here, which just passed very close to Falk, is going to continue to move parallel to Interstate 49 as it makes its way up towards Texarkana here in the next half hour or so. So you folks in Texarkana, you got some time, but that time is winding down as this tornado continues to move up towards the north and west. You can clearly see as I zoom this out how easy it is to see these tornadoes here. Notice as I zoom out further, it's not as easy to see anything within this particular tornado warning and the one down here in Bossier Parish here. That, if anything, is, again, just about ready to make it up to Interstate 20. But it does look like I really can't find much within that one and we have had no word as far as anything on the ground with that particular tornado warning. Again, another area of that we'll have to keep an eye on is this storm, which is we did have, Josh pointed out earlier, a tornado debris signature indicated on the radar south of Mansfield. That is now north of Mansfield, and this could eventually move up towards Shreveport. This is going to be another area, and it looks like there's a second area of rotation that's trying to develop south east of Mansfield that is eventually going to move right behind it. So we have these spinners lined up right behind each other there in DeSoto Parish that so far, at least recently, we have not seen anything as far as a confirmation, but those are really the storms that we're watching. But the two further to the north are the ones that are very obvious that we have, again, a tornado on the ground. We have this one, which will soon cross into Columbia County, and we have the next one here, which is moving right along Interstate 20 there in Miller County, southeast of Texarkana. Northeast Texas, again, we have had this warning here. You can see it has expired as there's the rotation there, and you can see how it kind of becomes, you really can't see it anymore. It just disappears. So that's a sign that has dissipated and that tornado threat has ended for that part of the area. And just kind of moving around here, it does look like something worth watching here, just to the south and west of Marshall, but not as obvious as other rotations that we've seen. That could be another area of concern, and you can see this tornado warning expiring. So looks like everything now is shifting for the most part to the north and east. So, Josh, you find something new?
Just kind of keep an eye on things that are going down, but I still believe we do have the tornado on the ground near Shongaloo. Again, the only confirmed tornado that we have at the moment, or at least warning that is confirmed, is the one that is approaching Texarkana, and still fairly evident that there's some rotation with that one, but I believe there may still be a tornado with that one, and likely a tornado there near Shongaloo that's going to be crossing shortly into Columbia County. Can't really see any area near Shreveport.
I agree.
Where we have the rotation. I can still see that there is an area of rotation here. It's really close to the racetrack. We had mentioned the racetrack earlier. This one's actually even closer to that 220 and 20 interchange. I believe that has probably dissipated and fallen apart, but if you are in the path of this warning and you're in your place of safety, just make sure you're staying away from windows and things like that in case it does pop back down. But I don't think there's anything in either of these warnings in Caddo and Bossier parishes that may be on the ground right now. I think the two that are on the ground are the ones approaching Arkansas here at the moment.
I agree, Josh. I think those are the two areas of concern right now. And pointed out that storm that is approaching Louisiana Downs right now. Again, there is some rotation there, but especially compared to the other areas that we're watching, it's not nearly as distinguishable as those other areas of concern across the region. Let's take another look at what's happening with the Ray Ford Thunder Truck, if we can call Lynx 1 and bring it back to me, and I'll call up the camera there with with the Ray 4 Thunder Truck as we are.
She was at the Forest Hills Estates in Houghton earlier, I believe, looking for some of that damage. We had wondered where that shot was, and I believe it was Forest Hills Estates.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for them to appear again. So thanks. Thanks. Okay. So that is the thanks, Josh. And again, Josh mentioned she was in the Forest Hills area. So let's take a look at the latest view from the Ray 4 Thunder Truck, and you can see again having issues with the hand tracker here, as again we are looking at the latest images from the Forest Hills. Again, that is, it looks like we've lost the signal there from the Thunder Truck, as it again is very close to the Forest Hills part of the area. It looks like maybe a little bit of a weak signal coming into the cell service there at the truck, but we'll keep an eye on that, and we have any obviously more obvious damage that is visible from the truck, we'll keep an eye on that for you. So let's go back to again our two. Josh was talking about this, and I agree that this is very close to Louisiana Downs. It is again. Obviously not as distinct as the two storms that we're watching further to the north as this. If there is anything there, it is going to move through the Stockwell area again, probably move up in a similar course. So there is Brookhaven Estates, and then points to the north. Here's Dean Point Road, at the edge of that, and this also could impact Cypress again. Again, this rotation obviously not as distinguishable and strong as the one that we were watching earlier that did cause some damage there further to the east there in Bossier City and near Houghton. You can see the another area of concern here, and again I point out this rotation here. You can see how that's kind of fizzled out. That's good. And then we have another one which is crossing Highway 84. Again, that's fairly weak at the present time right in here. So it does look like it's becoming harder to see exactly where these possible tornadoes are, just based on what we're looking at from the radar. But the ones that are more obvious are the ones that are here, the storm that is now again moving into Columbia County. You can see this cell, which did pass just to the east of Shongaloo. It does look like, you can draw this forward, that it's going to stay to the west of Magnolia and stay to the east of Taylor and stay to the west of Emerson. So you can see 98 and Arkansas 19. That intersection could be a point that this tornado very well could cross over as it moves into the southwestern sections of Columbia County here in the next several minutes. An update on the storm that is now moving up Interstate 20, and you can see this one here is right now continuing to make some pretty good progress. You can see Genoa here. It does look like it is going to continue that northwesterly course and move along and cross interstate and actually move right along Interstate 49. Josh, it may be a good idea to keep an eye on those RDOT cameras that are on 49. I believe there's one that is just a few miles south of the loop there in Texarkana.
Yeah, and I'm keeping an eye on the one that is over on State Highway 51 interchange, and obviously
yes.
The RDOT folks, they're kind of moving the camera around to see if they can see it coming in, but I do have it pulled up here on the links to backup weather computer, but just some heavy downpours right now. Again, it's going to be very difficult to see if there is a tornado there, just because there is so much rain, but we are keeping an eye on the cameras here. If anything pops up, I'll jump in and let you know immediately.
Thanks, Josh. So again, we are looking at the RDOT cameras here, and Josh will let us know if we see anything. So again, this is the, again, you can see the purple box, confirmed tornado, which is moving up 71. The rotation doesn't look quite as good as it did earlier, but it could be a function of where it is. But it is going to be moving into Texarkana here within the next couple of minutes, as it is moving towards the north and west. And again, we have this tornado here too, which is moving through basically out of Webster Parish and into the southern sections of Columbia County, as it will stay to the west of Magnolia. And you can see the rotation we were watching earlier here that did move pretty close to Louisiana Downs. If anything, it is north of Interstate 220 right now, and in this general area north of Stonebridge, and that would again perhaps move up to Cypress Lake. That nothing doesn't look as clearly identifiable as the other storms that we have out there right now, and especially the storms further to the north. And again, as I pointed out earlier, even the storms here in DeSoto Parish is becoming a bit more hard to pinpoint exactly where they are, but the Weather Service deciding to extend this particular tornado warning here for parts of DeSoto Parish as well as southern Caddo Parish for probably this rotation here right there, which does look like it has weakened just a touch. So another area that we'll have to watch closely that is going to be threatening the Shreveport-Bossier City metropolitan area. But obviously, in addition to that, we have all the issues with the rotations. Again, probably 50-plus tornado warnings issued across the area. Another probably more widespread and pressing issue could be the issue with damaging straight line winds. So let's take a look at the latest on that and see if I can find the current gusts. I don't think I have that. I always forget where I put that in here. There we go. Here's the peak gust. This will so you can see the gusts that we've had as these bands move through. You could see tropical storm plus force gusts, 45 miles per hour the peak wind gusts in Shreveport, 45 miles per hour in Longview, 41 miles per hour in Mansfield, 38 miles per hour so far the peak wind gusts in Center. So in addition to these rotations, we could see the gusts that could cause some power issues, as we've made reference to earlier. Again, they have been quite widespread here over Deep East Texas, with more than half of the customers in Shelby County without power as we speak. So again, the wind gusts obviously going to continue to be an issue, but that threat probably will go down just a bit as as the center of Beryl gradually makes its way through the area. So let's move ahead and show you again the latest from the HRRR, since I have this up. And again, this updates every single hour, and you can see this final band is going to be shift to the north as we head into the evening hours, and then we should see some improvement in East Texas and Northwest Louisiana, and then we will see the showers and heavier rains and the tornado threat gradually move out of the area very late this evening, and heading into tomorrow, obviously looking much quieter. I think we will manage to see some sunshine as we head into the afternoon tomorrow. And again, on top of the rain that's already fallen, we could be looking at several more inches of rain across the area. In fact, let me show you how much rain has fallen across the Arklatex as of right now, and you can see that for the most part, the totals have been heaviest over East Texas, where the rain has begun a bit sooner. And you can see that these areas of red, we're closing in, actually exceeding 5 inches. So you can kind of see these areas of purple. Kind of click on here. This is what the radar is seeing as far as accumulating rainfall totals across the area. So here we are in Carthage. If I can get the hand tracker to work. For some reason, it's not cooperating with me today. You can see over 4 inches in Carthage. Notice this area of purple closing in on 8 inches there in the southwestern sections of Panola County. And again, we're starting to see the rain pile up here in northwest Louisiana as well. I would bet we'll be over 4 inches before it's all said and done in Shreveport as well. As you can see these bands here near Mansfield, we're looking at totals that have already eclipsed 4 inches. So the heavy rain threat is also something to be mindful of, as we do have a flash flood watch, which is in effect for pretty much all of the Arklatex through the nighttime hours tonight, although we will see the conditions improve once we move past midnight tonight. So that being said, let's give you another look at the various tornado warnings that we currently have in place. As you can see, the main shield, as we've been watching these two areas of bands of rain. We have this band here, which has become more broken, and then we have this one final band that once this lifts to the north, notice there's not much more further to the south and west. So once this area moves through, that's when we should begin to see things improve as far as the tornado threat. Obviously, that's going to take a while for that to happen further to the north. So again, we have this band here has been the most active in terms of the number of tornado warnings that it's produced. So let's go back and show you the where this current one is located, and you can see it is just now moving into the Texarkana area. So it is over the south, basically southwest of Texarkana right now. See if we see anything as far as an obvious debris with that. You can see it. We did see it south of Falk, but it's not as obvious there. So I kind of doubt that we have anything on the ground as of right now, but still doesn't mean you're out of the woods there in Texarkana, as that rotation is currently moving into the southwestern sections of Texarkana, or southeastern sections of Texarkana. So you can see the new tornado warning that has just been issued that includes the Texarkana area is red. So again, that tells you that so far we don't have anything confirmed as of right now since that new warning is issued. But this will move across, especially the Arkansas side of Texarkana, as it moves off towards the north-northwest. The other strong storm that has been very obviously producing a tornado is continuing to move into Columbia County. You can see it right now between Taylor and Emerson. There's that intersection between 98 and Arkansas 19. It looks like it's very close to that location right now. And as I zoom this out, you can see that this will move up west of Magnolia, and probably will move between Waldo and Buckner if it holds together long enough. So you folks downstream outside of the tornado warning will need to watch this one very, very closely, as this is, again, moving through southwestern Columbia County and will eventually move up towards Buckner, between Buckner and Waldo. As far as the Bossier Parish storm, again, you can clearly see it. You can't just point at an area and say there is a possible tornado here. Again, this is since moved probably in this area. Haven't had any confirmation from that particular storm. If I were to venture a guess, I would say probably maybe in this area here, well north of 220, and that is basically, again, it's very difficult to point out. So I really not too concerned at this point for this particular rotation. It was much more prominent visibly as far as where you could see some rotation down here to the south, but it is not that is not the case anymore. And it looks like we have yet another tornado warning that has been issued for parts of KTAL Parish. And again, I really can't see anything with this.
No, I've been keeping an eye on that one. I think that was issued just to carry it out of Mansfield because we've had so many storms out there, but nothing too concerning with that one. I think the most concerning storm right now would be the one in Columbia County in Arkansas.
And I really don't see anything to point at with this tornado warning either. That includes the southwestern sections of KTAL Parish. So again, that one, again, there is some rotation in there. I really can't exactly point out exactly where that is as far as where I'm looking for some sort of bright red spot, and I'm not seeing anything there. So there is a tornado warning here. Bethany actually doesn't include Keithville, Stonewall, but as of right now, it's not very easy to see anything rotating with that particular thunderstorm right now. So as Josh mentioned, you can see where you can clearly see that this is where a tornado is occurring here as it moves into Columbia County. And we have another cell which is, again, still approaching the Texarkana area, and that is moving into the Arkansas side of Texarkana, is where, again, this would be the green towards, red away. So we have our circulation very close to the loop there. This is actually Interstate 49, and they're pretty close to the airport, actually, is where we could be. It'd be interesting to see what the wind gust, peak gust is from that cell moving through Texarkana, because that's occurring very close to the airport there in Texarkana. So this is where this possible rotation is right now. Let me zero in and see if we can get some Lakewood Estates is a area, Gertrude. You got Rondo right here. Again, here is 49 that goes up and eventually meets and crosses Interstate 30. So again, this is the area of concern right in here. Again, just now crossing into the loop, and will move across the Arkansas side of Texarkana. Now, it doesn't look as promising, I would say, that we have something on the ground. Just to notice what this looked like when it was down near Fouke, and you'll see the debris signature as it was southwest of Fouke. And again, the fact that this is a red box instead of a purple box, the newest one that's come on, tells me that there's probably no confirmation that we have anything since this was south of Fouke as far as confirmation goes. So again, just pointing out the location of the rotation does look like it's on the Arkansas side, crossing very close to crossing 49 south of U.S. Highway 82 here, and this will move across the Arkansas side of Texarkana. Eventually we'll see this probably pass up near Whatley. Okay, this is State Line Avenue, pass pretty close to Whatley. So it's going to move across the Texarkana side of, or Arkansas side of Texarkana, and then eventually moves up into the far northeastern corner of Cass County. So that's where that possible tornado is going to be going, as it, again, is very close to the Texarkana area as we speak. And again, the last time we had a confirmation from the radar that there was something on the ground, this was south of the Fouke, Arkansas area. It looks like we have yet another tornado warning that has been issued further to the south. And that is for this area here, which, again, as I pointed out earlier, it's kind of difficult to see exactly where this is. It's probably for the possibility of a brief spin up, but I can't tell you exactly where that is as of right now. But again, that will continue to impact the northern sections of Caddo Parish and parts of the northwestern Bossier Parish.
I think if there was anything there, it would be moving out of Benton and closing in on Belcher, but I'm not seeing anything that would
I don't see anything
that there's
either.
anything on the ground, but I will obviously keep an eye on it.
Okay, yeah, so again, probably just to be on the safe side, you know, we do have these bands which have a history, so as they move out of one tornado warning, and they'll probably extend it for that possibility, and we'll keep tabs on whether or not we see any obvious location, and as of right now, I can't point out and zoom in for you on this new tornado warning that's in place for Caddo and Bossier parishes. And you can see how that definitely is different with this storm that's in Columbia County, as this one is moving north-northwest. Again, if you're watching Magnolia, that will pass to your west. Again, probably will pass between Buckner and Waldo as it crosses U.S. Highway 82. That is the only confirmed tornado that we have on the ground right now, and the most obvious signature that we have as well. Let's go back to the rotation that we've been watching here in the Texarkana area. And you can see that it continues to make some progress over the Arkansas side of Texarkana there along Interstate 49, and that is going to continue to make that course.
It's absolutely pouring down on the camera there if you want to show the Texarkana camera.
Oh, I bet it is. So here's a look at the camera there in Texarkana. And again, just kind of give you some reference that this camera's on the Texas side and is pointed to the northwest, so this is not pointed in the right direction to actually see that that rotation, but it is pointing, coming down pretty good there in Texarkana. This is a view from the Texarkana New Holland camera there. This is on Summer Hill Road looking back towards the northwest. That is Texas High, to give you some reference as to what's happening there in Texarkana. And since we're looking at the cameras, let's see if we can get another image from the Ray Ford Thunder truck. It looks like they are stopped right now. I really can't tell obviously where that is currently located, but it is a four-lane road, it looks like. So that is the current location of the Ray Ford Thunder truck. And let's move on and show you all the other cameras here. And as far as the camera in Shreveport, this is the view from the Horseshoe Casino looking, and obviously it is pouring down rain, so this camera obviously is a bit soggy right now. So not really worth looking at that one. And while we're doing it, let's just show you the rest of the cameras across the area, and you can see the conditions in DeQueen and DeKalb. Really not much. Bear Creek Smokehouse looks like it's excuse me, quieted down just a bit. And so we will see that improvement that I pointed out from south to north as we are now past the 5 o'clock hour now, and are going to be moving into the evening hours. We will see conditions improve as we go through the rest of the afternoon and during the evening hours. So again, we are looking at, again, this cell here, which is moving through Texarkana. It is going to continue to move across the northeastern quarter of Texarkana. So far, no confirmation of anything on the ground with that one as it has moved through Texarkana, but it is producing some rather gusty winds. The only storm that we can confirm that we have a touchdown is this particular storm, which is moved past Emerson. It is continuing to move to the north and northwest, and is going to pass to the south of Magnolia and probably pass between Waldo and Stamps, Arkansas. So that is a look at the current location of the thunderstorms right now. And again, this is the strongest of the storms that we have in terms of rotation. And just to look at the debris signature that we have been looking at with this one. Let's see if we can see anything matching up with that. And doesn't look like as prominent as it was right here. Maybe we had some debris, but it was obviously when it was moving back here towards Shongaloo, that may have been it as far as may have been the debris still being separated and moving away as it was being lifted. But other than that, nothing very obvious with the storm here near Texarkana, and obviously with the storms that we've been watching moving through Caddo and Bossier parishes. Again, you can see we have Storm 1, Storm 2 moving through Texarkana. We do have the tornado warnings that are in place here for Bossier Parish. This one, I think, probably we're okay here in Bossier Parish. And we have this rotation, which is now moving along the Red River. Nothing that really screams tornado, as at least in my opinion here. It is moving up the Red River. Let's take a look at the shear aspect of things, see if we can see any rotation with that. And you can see there is a little bit here indicated as this is progressing its way and moving up towards the northwest. So that would be, again, east of the Red River, south of Austin. That is moving, but it's, again, very difficult to point out an exact location with any confidence and say that we have a tornado here. So that is that particular tornado warning. And then we have a new one here in probably have to keep an eye on this one. Notice that we do have some reds and greens here. We have somewhat broad, but still it is just about ready to cross into northern DeSoto Parish. So we have this tornado warning that is about ready to expire. So I would suspect that we will see this, given the trend today, see this probably extended to include Shreveport and Bossier City, as this rotation also moves towards the northwest. So that is another area that we're going to be watching here. And it's a bit of a while, minus the storm here in Columbia County. It's been a while since we've seen, any radar confirmation of anything touching down.
Yeah, it'd have been good. Just kind of keeping an eye on that.
Yeah.
It looks like they did just drop the radar-confirmed tornado warning for the Texarkana area. The regular warning still continues, but we haven't seen anything on radar where nothing has been observed by anybody in the area that would indicate that tornado's on the ground. So that radar-confirmed warning for Texarkana has been removed, but we still have just one of those. And we've had probably, 3 or 4 of those running concurrently for the last 4 hours or so. So
Yeah.
hopefully this is a sign that maybe things are trying to wind down, but we still have some of these strong rain bands or some of these storm bands coming in down through Natchitoches and Red River parishes, and these too can produce some tornadoes. So again, the short-term concern would be with what's going on in Columbia County. This push of rain across Shreveport-Bossier could produce some brief spin-ups, but I think this is the first time in about 4 hours we're down to only maybe one storm producing a tornado.
That's true, Josh. And two, if you look to the south, if you're watching in East Texas, again, to zoom this out and go back to the radar here, I pointed this out earlier that once we get this final band through here, that there is a bit of a break. So you can see this, once this clears, once all this moves up, then we should see, again, the threat wrap up here. It probably is already over for Center, for probably Henderson, maybe even Carthage, as far as that the issues with the rotations. And once this band spins around, and then all this moves to the north, I think once this clears Shreveport, we're pretty much going to be okay as far as having to worry about anything else spinning. And really the bigger issue is going to be rain. As I pointed out, we had 7 inches of rain here, and all that is moving up to the north. So we very well could have some issues with flooding as well before it's all said and done in the more urban areas and the usual spots in Shreveport where it does tend to flood when we have more persistent rains. But another thing to point out, just bringing up that point, is that we have this line here. Notice these cells moving north along the line. So we have a little bit of training going on here. Now this line is moving somewhat towards the east. Let's hope that continues. So that would obviously eliminate any issues with the training, because sometimes with these tropical systems, a feeder band like this, if it basically doesn't move and you have these bands of heavy rain or cells of heavy rain move within that band, they can produce an amazing amount of rainfall. Fortunately, it does appear as if this is moving. And again, you can see nothing as far as rotation or any issues as far as that. You can see the flash flood warning, which has been issued because of the slow movement of this band and the off and on heavy rains that are associated with it. So again, let's give you another update on the current storms that we have across the area. Again, at one point, this was a confirmed tornado. As we show you the velocity scan of the radar, again, what we're looking at is this cell here, which is now moving through the Texarkana area and is continuing to move towards the north. And again, it doesn't look as obvious. Compare that to what we're seeing here in Columbia County. This is clearly more obvious that we have a good chance of having something on the ground with this one that will pass between McCamey and Magnolia. It will move up and move between Buckner and Waldo. Eventually, if it holds together long enough, Baca here in Nevada County could come into play, as well as maybe Emmett. So just, again, that's a long ways from now, but that's still a couple of other places that are in line to see that. And you can see it looks like the southeast half of Texarkana, you're probably okay on most of the Arkansas. If you're south on the Arkansas side, south of 82, I do think that this is probably pushed through your area and you're pretty much okay. And to be honest with you, if you live on the Arkansas side of Texarkana, just based on the current scan of the radar, does look like it's moving into Texas right now. So again, we do have this tornado warning that's still in place, but that is probably going to continue as this moves off towards the north and east. It does look like this, what's left of it, is going to move up and probably pass west of Ashdown. Aline maybe eventually, if it holds together. Foreman probably passing to your east is where that possible tornado could go. Let's go back down to the south and show you the storms that are now in Caddo and Bossier parishes. And again, as we've been pointing out, it's very difficult to see. If we have any issues, it's probably in here. But again, really can't point to a spot and say there is a tornado, or at least a good chance that there's one here. This is the area of concern, which is near Gillum and moving up towards Plain Dealing. With that particular tornado warning, you can see the one in further to the east has expired, as well as the one further to the south. And we do have again, another one. This is probably the best signature that we have here in northwest Louisiana. That is located right here. So again, we do have the tornado warning that is in place here for Caddo and Bossier parishes, and you can see the new